AFL Northern Territory thanks the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, the ABC, for allowing us to broadcast this game. This broadcast may not be reproduced by any means without the express permission of the ABC as the rights holder.
Coming from the vault today is the 1998-99 Grand Final.
The Waratahs are on Football Park, Marara, and they're chasing the premiership that's eluded them for 22 years.
It's always hard to compare teams, but certainly that particular team, the drought-breaking team, if you like, geez, there was a lot of talented blokes, and they gelled, and there's a lot of ex-SNFL players. There was a couple of ex-AFL players, and some pretty and some young blokes from Tiwi, Shane, Chippermount, Mary that went on and did extremely good things in South Australia and West Australia. So it's very hard to compare, but I think when you're talking about it, there were some great individual players in both eras, but the fact that this team gelled as a team was often the missing ingredient.
It's everywhere, up to Adam Kiranua, first kick at goal in the grand final. Oh, it was beautiful.
So before '95, I spent a couple of years at Buffaloes, two losing grand finals to the all-conquering St Mary's team at the time, and so yeah, it was a bitter pill to swallow. But prior to that, I'd coached the under-18s at Waratahs and been assistant coach to the late great Maurice Rioli, and so they were struggling, and we lost a couple of Buffaloes. So I was really keen to get back, and so we went back and pretty much rebuilt. Yeah, well, the actual 96-97 season, I think St Mary's had won an Australian record 54 games or 50-something games straight, which was quite unique. And the 7:30 report had come up from down south to spend the week with both clubs, and we just felt that confident going into the second semi-final. We had a very good team, and we hadn't beaten them during the year, obvious, for that winning streak that Saints had. But we ended that run in the second semi-final, 96-97, and they got us in the grand final a couple of weeks later. But and even then, I felt that we should have won that one, and just wasn't to be. But it was a good sort of streak to break, if you like, at the time, and to end up playing in a grand final against them a few years later and knocking them over was even sweeter again. That Southern Districts were probably our biggest rival. I funnily enough, I thought we had Saints' number throughout the course of the year and coming into the finals. Southern Districts had a very good team, and but they had a bit of an Achilles heel, and that was in the discipline department. They had a few loose cannons, and I won't name names, but I think they'll know who I'm talking about. But we addressed that on the eve of the finals. In fact, a couple of weeks prior to the end of the season, and it was good. We actually ended up getting a few of them reported, or they got themselves reported, but got rubbed out, and it sort of I think they went out in straight sense, Southern Districts that year, and so we felt pretty confident with Saints. I think towards the end of the season, I think we might have dropped one to Palmerston, and you just felt that things were being unravelled a little bit, but you just knew you had the personnel to go all the way, and it had been, a long drought for the club without winning one, so it was pretty important to address it then, and we had some discipline issues of our own, and fortunately we got it right in the end. Well, that team 2 years prior, some of the footy we played, it was some of the cleanest football I'd seen end to end, from front to back, or from back to front. Just clean footy, and just things didn't drop our way. It's always hard to compare teams, but certainly that particular team, the drought-breaking team, if you like, geez, there was a lot of talented blokes, and they gelled, and there's a lot of ex-SNFL players. There was a couple of ex-AFL players, and some pretty and some young blokes from Tiwi, Shane, Chippermount, Mary that went on and did extremely good things in South Australia and West Australia. So it's very hard to compare, but I think when you're talking about it, there were some great individual players in both eras, but the fact that this team gelled as a team was was often the missing ingredient. Maurice Rioli addressed the players and some people from yesteryear, but there wasn't a huge focus. And of course, there were still people around the club: Gary Smart, Tommy Sandry, Selwyn Short, Peter Goodrum, that had all played in the previous flag for the club. So you were acutely aware, and they made you aware of 22 years, and it had been a while and what have you. But the focus really wasn't on that at all. It was about the job in hand, and I think that bitter pill that we swallowed 2 years prior against Saints, having been knocked off of one that we felt that we could have and should have won. I think money can't buy that sort of hurt that is instilled in you, and I think that was the catalyst behind not letting that one slip that day. From South Australia, Nick Stevens, Nummer they called him, and we had a meeting and we spoke about what we should get rid of and what we could introduce, and he just spoke about the camaraderie aspect, and if we see each other in the street, make the odd phone call, go that extra yard. And I remember walking to training a couple of nights, and blokes would drive past in cars and they'd toot and hang out the window and what have you, and so there was this overwhelming sense of mateship and camaraderie, and I really give Number a lot of credit for that sort of thing. And so that's one of the little things a lot of people won't know much about that contributed, I think, to the end result. Powerful club, isn't it? And they have been for years, and to lose one at St Mary's, I don't know what that'd be like. You'd be frowned upon for the rest of your life. But they had some great players, and Ricky Nolan was always a good ruckman. Tommy Weecher. I remember Carl Gunderson on a wing, and he'd caused us a bit of grief with previous games. And Ross Napoli, who had played with both Collingwood and Essendon reserves, was a very talented player. Loved life on and off the field. But I remember saying to Ross, I'd really like you to perhaps sacrifice today and just shut Gunderson down, because he'd caused us a bit of grief. And Ross said, well, do you trust me enough to let me play my own game? And if he starts getting on top, I'll shut him down. And we didn't have to worry about that, because Roscoe had a blinder and did his own thing. It's funny, you go back to the two at Buffalo's. One year we certainly had a good enough team to win it, and we limped into the finals with probably 4 of our top 5 picked carrying injuries. We couldn't replace them, so we went in knowing that we were taking a risk, and so we didn't get the job done. The following year we weren't good enough, so there were 2 that I always sort of thought, well, we weren't good enough, or we had a bit of bad luck. The 96-97 one with Tars, I felt that discipline let us down, and we certainly addressed that for this one. So yeah, I dropped 3, and you didn't really give that much credence. I didn't give it much thought, but there was just this overwhelming hurt, I think, from 2 years prior from the players that played in that earlier one, and certainly from myself, to make sure that we left no stone unturned this time round.
Terrific conditions down here. Let's find out exactly what they're like with more angle.
Well, Charlie, the sun has been shining on this ground since midday yesterday, but there are still a few muddy patches out there, so the players are going to have to be wary of them. The Bureau is predicting no more rain for basically the remainder of the game. As far as other conditions are concerned, 31 degrees Celsius, 65% humidity, probably a 2-goal advantage in the wind, and Anthony Hoban won the toss, and they're going to right of screen for the first quarter.
And they're into attack immediately with a big kick down to the forward line. Saints call to defend on. Out comes Anthony Vallejo, runs from the back pocket. They run him down. He gave the handball to Easton, socketed off the ground. Warriors wait there. Hoban caught from behind, went to ground with the footy. Saints relentless already. Caught by Lidgerwood there. He forced towards the boundary line on the wing on the far side of the ground. Kick back to the big ruckman there. He picked it up. That was Nolan. Gave it off to Long. Long kicked it down into the forward line. The Warriors there through Nick O'Sullivan. Left foot kick back downfield, and waiting for it, Big Rick Nolan.
On the bench for St Mary's, Fowler, Perry, Richardson, Bunby and Rioli, and for Tars, Williams, Baxter, Stevens.
And the umpires today, Horn, Bott and Rosebery, the three best umpires in the NTFL season this year. Big kick from Nolan, up short of the half-forward line. Going across the front of the pack there was Tommy Wheatra. Puts it into the Bacon half-forward line. Victor Dunn waits at the back, gets around and kicks. Stanislaus, oh, he had it in his lap and then he fumbled at the wrong moment. Lost it to the boundary line. A couple of metres around from the behind post to be a throw-in. Pressure in the grand final, John, right there.
Yeah, you can just see it there. And just the first fumble there to Stanislaus. That won't happen again. They're in attack.
Victor Dunn, they held him from behind. The strong man tries to force his way clear. The Warriors come out. Tommy Wheatra now with a roving commission. In goes Gunderson. He picks it up, looks for Stanislaus, got his hands on the footy and then lost it. Braunbush from the back pocket. High kick upfield. Ball got over the top of McLennan. Knocked on to McLennan. Terrific. They held him without the football. Play on, says the umpire. Over the top he goes of Barry O'Brien. McLennan gave away the free kick and O'Brien will get it. Grand final pressure. Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
And the intensity that is generated by grand finals. O'Brien goes this short into Anthony Vallejo, and the intensity factor is there in big time. Wheatra in trouble.
Wheatra left it behind. Handball back here for Napoli. Slick little handball. He gave it away to his teammate there, and Frankie Matthews kicks into the forward line. Back they go, Bury, deep in the forward pocket. And at the opposite end of the ground from where St Mary's had a chance, the Warriors will get a chance too as they force it over the boundary line.
Both sides have had an opportunity there now. That time it just didn't sit for Bury, but they're in attack now.
First goal, very important. Ball grab from the back. Loose ball picked up. Got to Bury under pressure. Hooked across his body. Hooked at goals. Might have missed everything. Oh, he went with the left boot from the absolutely impossible angle. Kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Yes, he was dug in a heap in the left-hand forward pocket. Saints will relieve the pressure. The pressure is intensified out there since this match started. Unbelievable start here.
I'm not a betting man, John, but if I was, I'll tell you what, Troy Eastonby, a good tip for the medal today. He's been running into terrific form. He kicked that ball out deep from the back pocket there. Now Saints can run it away. High kick to the vacant wing. Tommy Wheatra, has he got any run in his legs in this early stage? He couldn't get to that one. It was a big leg break. John hit the mud patch there in front of us here in the grandstand and over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, one of 3 or 4 areas out there that the players will have to watch. And O'Brien for Saints in good touch early.
Napoli hard at the footy. Hoban there as well. He's at the interchange area. Oh, how clever was that? He tried to push it onto the boot of the charging Hildebrandt. He wanted a free kick for it. Some of the crowd thought it was there. They thought it was out of bounds on the full.
Just a dash of the engineer coming out in Hoban then. Very smart football. Throw-in results right in the centre of the grandstand.
Well, he's had a victory already. He called right in the toss. That's Warden grabbed a little high. They charged down the kick from Hildebrandt. Kick up to the half-forward position for the Warriors. Slick handball to Hoban under pressure. He kicked upfield. McLennan has to work with Vallejo. Anthony Vallejo pushed it out. Kinniston got there. They got to him quickly. Look at the runners everywhere. Up to Adam Kerenua. First kick at goal in the grand final. Oh, it was beautiful. The Warriors combined wonderfully well across the half-forward line, and they've kicked the first goal at the 4-minute mark.
And there's a good shot of the Waratah supporters. They like that. Here comes the replay. Tipperman and Miri with the give to Hoban. Hoban's kick along the ground was ordinary, but McLennan was good. Here comes the second and third efforts. Tipperman and Miri sharks this. Kerenua on the left foot. Special conversion. And that's the pressure relief valve that grand finals are all about. Getting that first one on the board.
Very, very important. There's Big Nolan on camera. What a job he's got today. He told us earlier on in the week he's ready to take him on. Tommy Wheatra goes in the middle looking for it. Under pressure in there was Eilert. Kick out now to where the first man that should get there will be Warden. Singh gets there, went a little high. Warden onto the left boot. Clever little kick upfield to Withers. And Lincoln Withers. Now he goes. Big kick, almost to the half-forward line. Hands at the footy. That's a good mark, terrific mark taken by Frankie Matthews. Look for big things from him. Umpire thought about calling play on. He's in the mud patch. He kicks. Half-smothered kick. gathered in there by Lincoln Withers, caught in the tackle, was very good, pushed towards the boundary line from Napoli under pressure from Tommy Wheatra, and 70 metres around from the Warriors' goals. There'll be a throw-in.
Very important for Waratahs that Frank Matthews and David Johns get touches early. Also Lincoln Withers, and down the back of the field, Charlie, the first little bit of altercation has come into this match and has been settled out by the emergency umpire.
Missed kick from Tommy Wheatra was marked. Now the play on Frankie Matthews, caught, lost it, they went high on him. He's going to get the free kick. The swinging arm there might have been from Tommy Wheatra, and it collected Matthews across the top of the head, and he's got a free kick out of it.
Yes, and the swinging arm supplied there by Lidgerwood, and that's just started to creep into this game. It's grand finals time. It's those kind of things that are going to happen today. The main focus is getting the goals on the board, and this player on screen now, Frank Matthews, is in good form, and he leads Waratahs forwards' hopes on his shoulders.
Well, as Maura told us, the breeze favouring the Warriors, and he'll kick with this breeze behind him. Gets onto it, gives it plenty, will drop it to the edge of the goal square. In fact, it went over the top of the pack, but was offline and through. 4 are behind. So the Warriors 1-1, Saints yet to score in the grand final.
Yes, and just a little bit of tension erupting out here too down in the back half, and quite a few players pushing and shoving down in the back 6, a long way from the action, and then all of a sudden we see the Lidgerwood shot again, and it just means that this game is going up notches every minute. And Matthews again cuts in and takes the kick out with the intercept. And there'll be 50.
Well, that was undisciplined play there. Let's see if we can see it again, because Barry O'Brien went in over the top of McLennan and hit him around the head, and as a result has given away a free kick, and the red and white army celebrate.
Well, they'll love this. O'Brien coming off. He's been dragged. Fair enough too. You don't give goals away in grand finals like that. Matthews already had the mark. Richardson Bumby will replace him. We'll find Matthews. He will kick from the goal line, and Tar's second goal is imminent.
Well, he couldn't make the distance with his last kick. He's got no problem this time. Right from the dot will put the Warriors 13 points in front, and he does just that. Number 27 for the Red and Whites kicks the second. They've got 2 goals, 1. Saints yet to score.
Yes, you can just see there the jubilation amongst the Waratah players. They know that they've got 4 quarters of football to go. Here's the incident again. Ponter with the kick out. Matthews comes from nowhere, and you just missed it there on screen. The high shot on McLennan. The goal resulted. Waratahs have the dream start, the one that Bill Martin would have been begging them for, and now at St Mary's in the early days of this grand final that they're playing catch-up football.
Well, don't think Saints will go away. Don't for 1 minute think that they'll lay down in a grand final. They've been here too many times to even think of lying down in the early stages of a grand final. The Warriors could kick 6 unanswered goals and still Saints would be a chance.
Yeah, exactly, and you will never ever write them off, Charlie, especially not in these days. But the pressure that they're putting themselves under at the moment is that Waratahs are holding the ball in their forward line. Their much vaunted half forward line and full forward line of St Mary's are just not getting enough of the ball.
The ABC Umpire of the Year, Brett Rosebery, balls it down. A good one too. From the middle, no one got an effective touch. Lidgerwood went to ground. Tommy Wheatra kicked it off the ground. Warden was fantastic at the back. Got on the rebound and kicked it down to the half forward line there. Frankie Matthews again. He got clear, unloaded the handball off. Shane Tipperman to Miri. Kicks at goal. Oh, terrific work from Timmy Shots. He might have even got a free kick out of it. That is gallant defensive work back there, Tim Shots.
That's exactly what happened. He earned the free kick the hard way. Johns was putting the pressure on with the body. Well done, Tim Shots.
The green and golds under siege. Kick along the boundary line, sliding after it. Out there was Mark Hildebrandt. Marks it on the chest just inside the boundary line. 2-1. The Warriors bear this in mind, are kicking with a breeze worth at least a couple of goals. Now, what's on offer upfield? Ponter runs. Still no leads. Now he's called to play on, and will switch it to the far side of the ground to Anthony Vallejo, and he marks up almost to the half-back line. Ponter on the run. He'll get there, Ponter. As McLennan closes, invited to come back a metre. Ponter now dummies and then plays on. Gets the handball off. He's got a runner there. That's Mark Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt onto the right boot. Straightens it up to the edge of the square. Sing from the back. Got there. Ball to ground. Iggy Vallejo. Terrific smother, Braunbush. What magnificent play, Braunbush. And then the kick was fantastic. Terrific mark from Bury. Oh, champagne footy.
Oh, Brian Bush with the smother. And then Bury's second effort with the mark is sensational. The match is alive.
Handball from Tommy Wheater. East had to work very hard, Easton, back there in defence. Ball to the boundary line, 40 metres around from the behind post, and there'll be a throw in. Braun Bush, that was terrific.
Yeah, Iggy Vallejo was going. He was out. He was gone. And Braun Bush from nowhere with the smother, desperation stuff, and then Bury with the mark was special efforts.
Little push out on Nolan, no free kick. Ball grab, handball back to Napoli at 50, looks up, Hoban all alone. 35 metres out directly in front. The skipper has it on the chest.
Great stuff, Link Withers. There's a shot of Napoli. No panic, measured it off to Hoban, but Lincoln Withers in the kitchen there. Special efforts, no panic, shot the hand pass out to Napoli. He found Hoban in the hole, and this for the Warriors' third goal in the opening quarter.
Hoban, you wouldn't expect the skipper to let him down. Kicks at goal. Let's have a look what he's done. He's missed it, and he's kicked it behind.
That's a let-off. Very, very good setup, that. Gee, they've got the poise. They're balanced at the moment, Waratahs.
And now they wait. St Mary's, Ponter again on offer. The little kick was to Iggy Vallejo. Playing across the half-back line, has the mark deep in the back pocket. Brother Anthony runs at the 50-metre line. And now the kick out to the far side. Ponter got there. Free kick, he gave it away, did Ponter. And so the pressure is kept on by the red and whites. 2-2. Saints yet to score. Big kick, huge kick. Off hands, through for a behind. As John's got there. He was the only one that looked a chance of marking that. John got his hands on it. It slipped through, went through for a behind. 12.5 minutes gone, 2-3. The Warriors, Saints yet to score.
Yeah, and on screen then have a look at the faces are painted here too. The colours are everywhere. And Lincoln Withers also with the red and white is starting to have a big influence. Napoli is on fire again here to McLennan. Back to Napoli, back to McLennan. Where will he go? The kick's in. John's in front. The ball out. Bury comes in, picks up. Hand passes to Matthews. And I think he's kicked it. He has.
Don't tell me. Oh, they played around. Handballs are plenty until it opened up, and then the most miraculous goal you'll ever want to see. The banana kick. Have a look at this.
Have a look at the hand pass to Napoli, back to McLennan. Then the chip around the corner. Johns' attack on the football was great. That's what set Matthews up. The hand pass from Bury back inside. The banana kick straight through. Big goal. Waratahs, they're flexing here at Football Park.
They certainly flex the muscle. Saints learning their toughest lesson in a grand final for a long time. Tap down from Nolan was very good. Vallejo there, kicks to the wing, rolls towards the interchange area. Ball was kept in play very cleverly. That was well done by Schultz. Handball off to the running Dullard. Dullard gave it off to Tipperman to Mary. He set sail for goal to the edge of the square. Johns, he got his hands on it, kicked off the ground. Don't tell me Adam Keranua has seized the moment. Touched. Magnificent defence from St Mary's. Oh, they lifted when they had to.
There's a replay there. Johns almost. And then Keranua flashed through. It's too quick to see who touched it, but it is touched, and it's a minor score.
Troy Easton, I think, John.
Bill Martin on screen. He'd be absolutely wrapped with this start.
Tommy Wheater for Lidgerwood. Sets him up. He's, magnificent effort to mark by Lidgerwood. He's still got plenty left. Unloads to the running Hildebrand. Hildebrand out wide. Hands went to the footy out there by Island. He lost it. Came back to where Ponter chases the footy. He gets there. Caught a little high. No free kick paid to him. The Warriors will come away with it. 2-on-1 out here. Hoban in bad position there. He had too many players to compete with. He couldn't get the footy. Terrific tackle as the ball goes to ground. Bush tried to kick it away. Handball now to Tommy Wheater. Smothering effort from Bush didn't work. It got to Nolan. He wants to play on now and will be invited to do so. He gave it to Iggy Vallejo. Gunderson caught in the tackle. He gave a handball back. Now Iggy Vallejo gets clear. He's being chased there by Wakeland. He kicks it out wide there. He's got Islet out wide. Islet comes back to Singh. Singh a chance to kick the first goal for Saints. Runs in and kicks at goal and misses to the right. and kicks it behind.
Their first major setup for the quarter, and it was all alone. James Singh, he was in the run there. He had just straight at the goals. He's missed. Massive shepherd put on by Rick Nolan on Braun Bush to allow him the space. And Saints are forward, and they haven't been. Ted Liddy on screen. Bruno Long, past champion. They are desperate for a goal.
Ted into the gum. He might be chewing plenty of that today. Kick to the edge of the square's a beauty. Big fly from over the back there from Nick O'Sullivan. Ball spills free to Williams. Williams sets it up at centre half forward. Knocked to ground here. Who waits? Hoban caught a little high and will get a free kick. He must get a free kick. He will. They held hold of him. They try to run on with it, David Johns. It goes back to Hoban. Chance to redeem himself. 45 metres out directly in front.
Yes, he missed a setter from here, exactly the same spot. He'll be very, very keen not to miss this one. Good setup back there in the back six. The numbers with the Waratahs. Hoban this time. Hasn't got the legs.
He has
I think
kicked it.
It's just carried.
I think he's got it. Goal umpire says yes. They skip away, the Warriors. Big break. 4-4 to 1 point, 27 points.
Here's the replay. Matthews in the back there. And there's Hoban. It's good roving by him. He puts the hand pass out. You can see the infringement. There's the kick from the little fella. It just had enough legs on it. 4 goals, 4 on the board. The Waratah, 1 point, St Mary's.
Well, Chris Williams came off the interchange bench, John. He's been away tending to his young son. He's back here. He deserves to be out there on grand final day.
My word, he does. And if ever there's anyone that can just steady the ship if need be, that's no doubt his role. Waratah goes forward.
Waratah's kick to Singh. One hand on the footy. Second chance to grab it. He'll get the free kick, James Singh. They'll need him to fire. He has to... No, player didn't come back on the mark. Yes, they're okay with it now. I thought the umpire was going to pay 50. He didn't. He just called it back, umpire Rosebery. And James Singh has to go back and kick over the mark. Gunderson was his target. And now he looks upfield, goes short. Big Nolan, edge of the 50. Wants Victor Dunn. This is kick. Out comes Athanasiou. Warden gets in front of him and thumps towards the boundary line, and it rolls. John, I'm convinced that Mick Athanasiou is very, very concerned about a hamstring. He is not running flat out at the footy. Ted Liddy said he'd leave it up to his champion as to whether he thought the hamstring would stand the rigours of a grand final. Mick Athanasiou told him it was okay, but I don't think he's moving that well.
No, he's not.
Kick up to the wing. Little push out on Easton. Warriors, oh, they won't go away. Handball finishes up with Withers. He gets away with the kick. Vacant half forward line. Runs towards the boundary line on the far side of the ground and will get there. Chased over the boundary line by Tim Maloney.
Yeah, they looked very, very good, Waratahs. It just showed you there then the coupling up of Adam Keranura and Link Withers, and they've just got all the movers in the right place in the midfield at the moment. Waratahs, they look good.
Little knockdown. Pushed out from Hoban. Towards the boundary line, Mark Hildebrandt carried it by hand over the boundary line on a throw-in.
Isn't a moment's respite out there for both of these sides. The action has been absolutely furious out here in this opening quarter. There's a hell of a lot at stake out here today, Charlie. 22 years since Waratahs held a cup, and that kick may just well be over the line on the full. It is, and the free kick will go to Waratahs.
Well, Mark Hildebrandt, chance to pick the footy up, elected to soccer it, and now has given away 50 metres because that's how far the kick actually went. Down into the forward line, big fly down there by the Warriors. Ball gets kicked out to Nolan. He's picking up plenty of touches, Rick Nolan. Handball out to the running Iggy Balajo. Pins the ears back and goes to 50. Mick Athanasiou in back position. Hands on the footy. Gathered in the loose ball by Nick O'Sullivan. He gave it off. May comes away with the kick. Big effort from the back there from Hildebrandt was good. They hold on to Island. No free kick in this. Dullard goes in after the ball. In they come. Big tackle there on James Singh. Oh, he was good, Singh. He managed to get his hands and foot free. Got it off to Carl Gunderson. Gunderson's little kick. Gave it off to his teammate there in Island. He's asked to play on. Inside 50. Island kicks at goal. And he misses to the right. And Saints missing out on the opportunities. Kick their second behind of the grand final.
Yeah, good build-up then too from Saints. Good work by Islet. He put the head down and took them on. And just unfortunately for Saints, for the second time this quarter, could not find the big ones.
Wonderful kick out at the 20-minute mark. Anthony Valajo. Wonderful pair of hands at the back. Takes the short option. Kicks. Islet left it because he thought Singh wanted it. Now Gunderson has to go in and get it. May chases him to the boundary line. Gunderson with superior leg speed. but not enough to even keep the ball in play. Went over the boundary line as Cyril Rioli goes on. Crowd there, John. There's a green and gold supporter.
Yes, and you can see the balloons there and also the painted faces and a little bit of confusion out there amongst the St Mary's players. That mark should have been taken and Lidgerwood's in trouble. Free kick will be paid to him for in the back.
And it was it was in fact Hildebrandt that came off to let Cyril Rioli on. Lidgerwood's kicked the centre half forward. Mick Athanasiou. Judgment aplenty. Cyril Rioli, who just came on, goes long with a handball to Gunderson. Lost it at the 50. Braunbush waiters. Quick hands. Warriors come away. Vacant wing position. Easton will go hard at the footy out there with Adam Keranua. And the boundary line wins, and there'll be a throw in. Oh, Saints, big opportunity, gone begging.
Yeah, they've had 3 or 4 opportunities early in this quarter, and it's just not working for them at the moment. It's working for the Waratah side. They've got the confident lifters, and now they're applying scoreboard pressure, which in grand finals is the best pressure you can exert.
Nolan, he's been fantastic as he rucks. Running away with it this time was Barry O'Brien, and he kicked it to the boundary line. Maurice Rioli, of course, former Waratah coach, would be enjoying this match. He could have $1 each way, John.
Well, he can too, can't he? Because he started his football career with St Mary's a long time ago, but he's snugly in the Waratah camp today.
Williams, handballs over the top. Watch Napoli close. Oh, good work there from Williams. Easton tried to kick it off the ground. The second line had to come in and clean it up. That time it was Gavin Richardson Bunbury down towards the 50-metre line, and May was tripped and will get a free kick. He ran with a head full of steam. And watch the legs taken out from underneath him.
Yeah, Russell May, straight line footballer. Shortest distance is in a straight line. Good attacking football from defence.
Kicks to the midfield. Big thump from the back. Look at Williams with skill. Kicks to 50. It'll drop a little short. Ball went to ground there in front of David Johns. He tries to get it. He does. He gets the handball over the top. Will it bounce? No, it won't. They did everything right. They couldn't get their hands on it. They were under enormous pressure and forced in the end as it rolled over for a behind.
Yeah, good stuff there from nothing from Johns. Bury, the Waratah players are trying anything at the moment, and why not? They're in good touch.
Timmy Shots in the back pocket from the Ponta kick. He'll clear the 50 now. Goes long. Nolan drifts across the front. Got his hands on it in front of Nick O'Sullivan and saw it over the boundary line. 65 metres around from the Warriors' goal as we close on quarter time. 4-5 to 2 points, the Warriors in front.
Yes, and they've put that scoreboard pressure on again, and they're camped at the right end of the ground. Saints doing anything to try and get forward. They do now through Richardson.
Richardson, Bunbury's kick. Warden, very, very good. Held by Cyril Rioli, and he has to go back and take the free kick. So Cyril Rioli on the wing. Wayne Warden onto the left boot, measured this kick. Beautiful kick too. And he gave it off to Frank Matthews, just on the attacking side of the centre. Vallejo might get in the way of this. Diving effort to mark down there from Jim Bury. Handball from Vallejo was good. Tommy Wheater with quick hands. Goes for Nolan. They just knock him out of the way. Loose ball picked up here on the run by Withers. Withers kicks it into the forward line. Will it bounce for the Warriors? Good defensive work there from Saints. The fist of Timmy Shots knocks it over the boundary line.
Gee, the pressure really being exerted out here by both camps. Nolan coming off for his first spell. He'll be replaced by Blake Fowler.
Rick Nolan, terrific 20-odd minutes in the first semi-final. Away go the Saints. Handball to Lidgerwood. Lidgerwood gives it back off, and they can go through Richardson Bunbury. Kicks up. Wants Singh. In went Cyril Rioli. Caught from behind. Grabbed a second time. He still wants it, Cyril Rioli. Will he get it off the Singh? They dive into the middle of his back umpire. Surely no free kick for Cyril Rioli. Oh, he gave everything in that exchange.
Yeah, 2 and 3 efforts there. Another good shot at the St Mary's end of the crowd this time. But Rioli there just could not break away. Waratahs doing everything right.
Handball from Lidgerwood to Gunderson to the 50-metre line. Knocked away there. Knocked on further by Tommy Wheater. Out come the Warriors under a lot of pressure here. Ball picked up from Stanislaus. He gave it up to Cyril Rioli. He lost his boot as he got the kick to Victor Dunn. What can the strong man do? He runs hard at the carrier of the football. Handball given off to Athanasiou. He had nowhere to go. They're at 6 and 7s. Warden cuts it off. Thumps long for Hoban. There's no way through for Saints. Swarming Warrior defence. Hoban has it. Hoban kicks long to the wing. A little push out. It'll be paid. Kynaston pushed out. And Frankie Matthews, in front of his adoring red and white fans, kicks the centre half forward. Hand went over the top. Easton left the footy behind. Ireland went in to pick it up at the 50. He gave the handball across to O'Brien. They caught him and put him under pressure. And he kicked towards the boundary line. And a throw in alongside the interchange area in front of the grandstand close to quarter time. The Warriors 4-5, Saints 2 points.
Oh, they're putting big pressure on too. Every time they go forward, they look dangerous. Matthews is in superb touch, and so too is Williams. Napoli this time trying to get clear. Farms puts the fend off. Hand pass goes over to Stevens. Stevens can go long.
Long kick into the forward line. Ponta gets in the way. Takes a very well judged mark to Shane Ponta, and then onto the right boot he goes. Kicks it out in the direction of Iggy Vallejo, short of the wing. He looks up and sees Easton. Purposefully measures off the hand pass. Easton got there, stood his ground. Poor kick with the left boot. Got it to the middle of the ground. Fortunately, Tommy Wheatra's there. Wheatra goes back, chips just on the attacking side of the centre and gives it to Fowler. And Fowler right in the middle of the ground as we count down towards quarter time. 27 points the difference. Out there the Warriors, served by Nick O'Sullivan in front of Singh. Warden caught from behind by Cyril Rioli. Goes in again, pushed out a little further. Angling across there is Iggy Vallejo as the siren goes in the first quarter of the grand final. A quarter that belonged to the red and whites. There they are, 4-5-29, Saints 2 points.
And the goal kickers, firstly for the Waratah side, 2 to Matthews and singles to Hoban and Keranua. Of course, none for St Mary's. The statistics for the Waratah side, 81 touches to the Waratah combination. So that's 81 as against 85 to St Mary's. The hit-outs 11-9 in favour of Saints, and the free kicks 8-5 in favour of the Waratah side.
Quarter time in the grand final, the Warriors by 27 points, 4-5-29, Saints 2 points.
Territory footy from the vault is thanks to these valued partners.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision.
Well, hostilities about to resume in the second quarter of the grand final. John, how do you rate that first quarter?
Well, I rated it very highly from Waratah's perspective because they dropped straight onto a line and length out there, and they put the scoreboard pressure on when it counted. Their goal work and their goal stance up forward was very, very good, and they appeared to have no nerves whatsoever.
The good thing for Saints, though, John, is they can play better than that, can't they?
Well, they can't play any worse, and let's look to see them really make a fist of things here in this first minute of the second quarter.
They'd want to get back into it in this quarter. Well served by Nolan in the middle. Hoban gave the handball off to Jason Dullard. Dullard kicked it out wide. Out there, the ball forced towards the boundary line there by Shane Tipperman to Mary, and then he got onto it thumping kick down towards the 50-metre line. Ball knocked to ground. Couple of hungry Warriors waiting for it there. In went McLennan looking for it. He didn't get it. On his feet down there was Aaron Perry. He tried to get in and get it. He's got a heavily bandaged right knee, Aaron Perry. Comes in a little late now. And the Saints under enormous pressure down on this half-forward line. And in the end, the umpire will have to go in and ball it up 50 metres out. Let's quickly go down to the boundary line. More angle. What have you got for us?
Yes, Charlie, Bill Martin's obviously happy with his players, but he told them to remain alert and perceptive. Ted Liddy, on the other hand, told them to stop bombing him to the forward line, and he told his players to forget about the scoreboard for now.
And play with some system, I would suggest, John.
Yeah, that's what they've got to do. They've just got nothing happening out there for them at the moment, so it makes it almost impossible for their forwards. There's just no control over the disposals whatsoever.
Jared Eilert kicks for Hildebrandt. The fist that got in front of him was Withers. Big tackle over the top. Got to Tommy Wheatra. Wheatra, he's got Iggy Vallejo running with the footy. Oh, courage plenty, but then couldn't quite break the mark in. Kick is squirted out wide. All Warriors out here. They can mark it in some space. Good mark taken there by Kevin Baxter, and a poor kick from Baxter. That was a shocking kick.
Yes, that needs
you just can't give away possession that easily.
No, not even when you're 27 points in front. You can't give this side a sniff.
Kick from Ponta. At the back was Athanasiou. Little push on Bush. No free kick. Athanasiou goes to ground. Umpire Warwick Bott letting the ball go on. And Big Mick looks at him from the ground, hoping that there might be a free kick in it for him. But there was none forthcoming.
Yes, and he's yet to get into the game too, Big Mick. He'll want to do that very shortly for his side's sake. Good shepherd applied there by him. Another good smother by Waratahs. Brilliantly done by Schultz.
Schultz now got a half kick away. Tommy Wheatra was very good. Over the top goes Dullard. Athanasiou goes to ground. I can tell you, Mick Athanasiou already showing signs of some frustration. Good umpiring, umpire Bott. He just threw the footy up. Slick little handball to Gunderson. He almost got through. This very, very good defender in Schultz worked it towards the boundary line with body strength and got it over the boundary line at the 50-metre line.
Yeah, good contest there too, and things are just starting to tighten up a little bit out here. St Mary's are working it forward in centimetres, desperate for a goal to start this second quarter off.
Nolan, he won it. Half kick, almost got to Lidgerwood. Nolan gets another possession. Gunderson goes over the footy and then pushes it out to Aaron Perry. The skipper got the fumbles when the pressure came, and they held it up. Swarming Warrior defence. Saints trying desperately to find a way into the forward line.
Yeah, they just can't break free. The tackling and the defensive work of Waratahs is great. Lidgerwood can go here, but
here's Lidgerwood's kick, sets it up. Where's Victor Dunn? It was knocked to Braun Bush. He scoots off, runs across centre half back, takes a bounce, advantage played. He can run all day. He gets to the centre, handball over the top. Plenty of options here. They want to take him on, the Warriors. High kick and a little push later on Shane Tipperman to Murray. Big fly, loose ball gathered in by Kevin Baxter. He gave the handball off. Oh, champagne footy. Richard Purantatamiri.
Yeah, that's the breakthrough they wanted. And then they come right back down the other end of the field. Have a look at the Waratah crowd. But the players are all back up this end of the field with Braun Bush. And there he is on screen there. Scintillating breakaway football by Braun Bush. Have a look at this. He's cut them up down the middle at Football Park. And the hand pass, Tipperman to Miri with pace. And away they go. Here's the crummy situation. McLennan up a mile. Baxter, the hand pass. Richard Purantatamiri. Yo.
Ball cut off here at centre half back by Big Nolan. High kick for the centre. All Warriors here. A mark was dropped there by Matt Schultz, but he will get a free kick. Attempt there to stop Napoli didn't work. Napoli's kick to the 50-metre line. Ball knocked to ground. In goes Eilert. Held him without the footy. No free kick paid to him, though. Waiting one out was Nolan. Nolan can kick now to the wing position. Ball rolls. Getting there first will be Hoban. The two skippers. Closing on him was Aaron Perry. Handball back in field. Warriors turn it over quickly. They can set this up now from the wing. More pressure on Saints. Will Nolan cut him off? He got there but didn't quite complete the mark. He just couldn't get his hands over the top. And big Frank Matthews got his hands on the footy.
Yeah, and he's done that a lot in this match so far. He's the main forward on the field. The kick in is a good one.
Big kick to the kickoff area. Ball knocked to ground there. Out comes Vallejo. It just beat him with the bounce. Then Lidgerwood got it. He went for Aaron Perry. Parking on him was Hoban, but he got the kick away to centre half forward. Ball went to ground. Athanasiou went in looking for it. Plenty of defenders come out. Here's a chance as it gets to Singh. Can he go to Stanislaus? He tried. They smothered the kick down. Oh, they wasted it again, Saints. It came out to Napoli. Napoli gave it to Warden, and away they go. The Warriors, they can't be stopped. Over to Wardens. Warden goes over the top with a left foot kick. He gave it off to Shane Tipperman to Miri. Sets it up in the goal square. Saints have to defend, and they defend very, very well through Kynaston as they concede a behind.
Yeah, desperate defence there by Kynaston. Gee, it's desperation stakes out here at the moment for the St Mary's side. Waratahs have the answers. They have the teamwork. They have the system, and they are very, very focused on what this match means to them.
Now the kick out from Ponta. Drives up the middle of the ground. Lidgerwood starting to pick up plenty of touches. Handball over to Frankie Matthews. He's at centre half forward. He goes back and has a look. Why not? The Warriors want more. He kicks it goal. They've got another one. Red and white celebrations at Football Park. Coming up to 7 minutes and they skip away in the grand final. 6-6. Saints yet to score a major.
Yeah, Withers was good with the pressure. Wakeland with a long hand pass. Matthews, well, he knows where the goals are. He's already kicked 2. That one makes 3, and they're on fire. And Frank Matthews is heading towards a Cheney medalist performance here. He's best man on the ground by a mile.
Well, what can Ted Liddy do? John, where are the answers?
The answers are they are getting absolutely trounced around midfield, and he's got to get someone like Big Mick Athanasiou back down there on Matthews for starters.
Dullard. Got it to Hoban. He's having a feast in the middle is Hoban. Kicks to the 50. Ball got over the back. Loose ball being chased back there by Tipperman Tamiri. Pushed towards the boundary line. No free kick played. They wanted a free kick, the Warriors. Umpire was right, though, in not awarding it. Let's have a look.
Just a replay there. Yeah, just a little bit of acting. Okay, there were some touches there too, but it's a grand final, and umpires are looking for a little more than that.
That's right. They're encouraging the players to play on and keep this game as a fast-flowing game. Glorious conditions here at Footy Park. Couldn't have asked for better. Two very good teams going at each other here. It's at the 50-metre defensive line. The Warriors just too much pace across there. Let's have a look from directly out in front. Let the picture tell the story. Let them hug. Let them celebrate. The Warriors. Chris Renahan there. He'd be thrilled. The Warriors kick another one.
Ah, big goal this. Have a look at this, the pack. Lidgerwood breaking out of it. Ball kicked off along the ground. Have a look at the pace here. Look at Tipperman Tamiri go. He's just bolted out of there. That is terrific football. And don't the Waratah crowd love it? And there they are. All 3,500 of them.
I've waited a long, long time. They haven't got it yet, John, but they've certainly got a hand wrapped around it at the moment.
My word, they have.
Nolan, big thump from the middle. Victor Dunn up in the middle now. He charges out of the middle, Victor Dunn. Gets it onto the right boot and misses and kicks it behind. Just when Saints needed igniting, the big man couldn't find the big sticks.
And that's the first time he's been in the play much today. He's been contesting a few issues. Needs to be where he is now, up around the half-forward line. They just cannot sit back and allow this to happen. Ted must now start ringing the changes and starting off by getting Mick Athanasiou back across half-back if he's fit enough to.
Napoli switches to the other side of the ground. Hoban's worked himself into space. Handball to Napoli. Back again, they're messing around. And now it comes back to O'Sullivan. He's caught, but he then shrugged the tackle, went to the boundary line. He might have kicked it out on the full. They messed around for far too long, the Warriors, and they might have given Saints a chance to kick their first goal. Stanislaus getting one of his rare touches in the second quarter of this grand final.
Well, that's the first mistake they've made, Waratahs. They just went a little bit too far with the chip across the goal line, and that kick, the last one, out of bounds. Stanislaus can kick them from anywhere. On the way with the kick, hit the post. It is not their day.
There he is, Brian Stanislaus. He's played some great footy here, and only able to hit the paintwork, John. And they go to 4 points. 7-6 to 4 point. The big kick out from Matt Schultz. Running across the field, Matt Wakeland launched himself at the footy and took a mark 60 metres out from the St Mary's goals and then thumped it up to the wing. And he's got a very handy player out there in Adam Karanua, who was happy to take that mark. He went to Hoban. Oh, what a day Anthony Hoban's having. He's waited a long time for this, John.
Yes, he can taste it already. 3 kicks and look where they are.
Kynaston in front. Kick under pressure. Warriors. Handball back to Perry. He knocked it out. Saints at 6s and 7s. Ledgerwood gave it to Tom Wheatra. He was caught. He gave it back to Hildebrandt. He stood and waited, and then he got it to Nolan. Nolan now for Stanislaus in some space on the wing. Gets around Wakeland, then went back around the body and wasted it all. Saints just can't believe it. It is not working. They are under enormous pressure, John. They are somewhere where they haven't been for a long, long time.
Yes, and so are Waratahs too. They're somewhere where they haven't been. A good shot of some of the Hungry Jack people that'll be out here at half-time. But yes, Waratahs, they are in a position here where they can go on and grind this.
So Hoban's kick skidding along the boundary line on the far side of the ground, over between the half-forward line and the wing for the Warriors, or a throw-in. 7-6 plays 4 points, and Nolan has rucked tirelessly. He got a bit of a spell there, but he's up this time rucking against Frankie Matthews. You know you'll get 100% from him. He got front position. He got pulled out of the contest. The Warriors have it. Slick little handball to Bury. They close on him quickly. He's able to get the kick away, though. Oh. And Tim Schatz took his eye off the footy just to check where the forward player was running. David Johns was running at the footy. One glance away, and the big man was gone and took the mark on the chest.
That's exactly what happened. David Johns heading up for his first shot at goal for the match. What a bonus it'll be for Waratahs if David Johns puts his hands up now big time. Matthews already has done a centre-half forward. Johns, goal number 8 coming up for Waratahs. Stay with the kick. It's going to come back, and it's a goal.
Well, the streamers are up again as umpire Brian Weatherall, with a little bit of help at the 12.5-minute mark, tells us that the Warriors have skipped out to a 50-point lead. 8-6, plays 4 points.
Yeah, unbelievable. Bury too in the van there. Good play by him. And as you said, Shots just looking to see at 6s and 7s in the finish. And Johns, perfect kick, good conversion. They have nailed St Mary's. They're going to have to do something miraculous from here.
Well, when you keep them hungry for that long, John, they come out snapping at your heels.
Well, that's exactly the football they're playing, and Wakeland thumps it in the centre bounce.
In goes Gunderson. Terrific preliminary final he had. Eilert with a big kick. Here's a chance with Singh in good position. Ball knocked at ground, though. Waiting for it there was Kevin Pangramini. He goes out wide to Napoli. Napoli's got Bush. Let's have a look at this exciting player, Bush. Off he goes. One bounce. He's got time to take a couple more if he wants. Shows his kicking skills instead. Magnificent kick to Adam Karanua. Karanua with the left foot. Foot blazes away at goals, and I tell you what, he is copping a mouthful down there from David Johns, who wanted to be hit on the chest with it, and he should have been.
Yes, he should have been, and he's quite right there too. Just Adam with a bit of a rush of gold fever, but all forwards like to lead to him. He has just such a wonderful kick. Pressure again exerted on St Mary's. Wheatra to kick out.
Well, they started him out on the wing, Tommy Wheatra, and now he's back there in defence. And he kicks for Shots. Took a very solid mark, did Tim Shots. He's inside 50. Braun Bush cruising across here if the ball hits the ground. In front was Eilert. He went to ground, ball went free. Throw it in, says umpire Warwick Bott. And the umpire will do exactly as he's told on the far side of the ground.
Yes, and just some more shots of some kids. Just hiding a little shy, that one, with her multicoloured hair. They're green and gold.
She knows who her team is. John, she wouldn't be happy at the scoreboard, though. Braun Bush with the kick. Hoban, front position, ball knocked to ground. They're everywhere. They've sold it through Adam Karanua, and then he goes back. That's a very good mark for Troy Easton. Up went just the one hand. Here's a complete footballer, Troy Easton. Hoban with the push on Matt Wakeland. Ball loose, O'Brien onto it. He kicks, there's nowhere to go. He has to go to the boundary line. It rolls as they get across there through Russell May. Akers to work in Russell May. Now he comes back across the play, goes with the short kick, gives it off to Kevin Pangramini. They're messing around, the Warriors. Singh That's the result of messing around, John.
Second time this quarter that's happened. They're turning blind for the sake of it, and there's no one home. First of all, it was Stanislaus from this position on the other side of the flank, and now James Singh.
He can kick this too. He's onto the left boot, kicks. No, he curled it around, he kicked it behind. Disappointing result. Saints need a goal. Gee, they need a goal.
Don't they ever? And I'll tell you what, Bill Martin will have plenty to say about this defensive chipping across the goal face. It's come unstuck twice this quarter. It hasn't hurt them, but it could have.
Too many players there for the Warriors. Nick O'Sullivan unloads a handball. Now they kick for Chris Williams. Props and waits, and then plays on as Perry closes on him. Sets it up on the edge of the square. Waiting for it and taking a very good mark was Shane Tipper Mantamuri. Warden has cruised up there. Warden goes over the top. He wants McLennan. Running with the flight of the footy, McLennan. And didn't get to it. It rolled away from him. It's gone over the boundary line alongside the behind post, and Ted Liddy has plenty of problems to deal with.
Yes, he certainly does. And Waratahs controlling the action out here. Wakelin off for his first spell, replaced by Stevens.
This hard up alongside the behind post. Warriors in attack. Doing the ruck work was Johns. Came to ground. And a big tackle there on McLennan holds the footy up. 25 metres out. Directly in front almost for the Warriors. 8-7 to 5 points.
Yeah, you wouldn't have dreamt about that in a fit as the ball up takes place.
Comes out, hands almost on it, was linked with us. Now it gets loose. Chasing the ball out there is Shane Tipper Mantamuri. He goes to ground. Good work out there from Shots. He pushed it back cleverly to O'Brien. O'Brien kicked out wide. Braun Bush waits for it. He's got away from Eilert out there. Stands and props and brings it back in field. Measuring kick to Nick O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan now. He chips to Braun Bush. Now he explosively runs away. Thumping kick. He is decked as he kicks it to the edge of the goal square. It bounces. Continues to bounce. The hand went up of Anthony Vallejo just as it was going over the goal line. He put a fingernail on it, John, and the result was a behind.
Yeah, good defensive work again. Gee, they're under pressure down there. In particular, Wheater and Anthony Vallejo. Look at the kick by Wheater. It's gone 70.
Big kick. Two number 16s out there. Tim Maloney up against Easton. Boundary line is where it was headed, and there'll be a throw in far side of the ground. 8-8 plays 5 points.
Yeah, the system and everything is what's deserted, Saints. I've never seen a side come out and exert scoreboard pressure in the grand final like Waratahs have today. They're desperate and they are very focused.
Well, they showed signs of that, didn't they, when they were challenged by Southern Districts in the third quarter of the preliminary final after they'd taken a 5 or 6 goal lead, and then Southern Districts ran them down, and in the last quarter the Warriors just went back to business, and when they play business footy, they're going to win the match.
Well, and that's what Bill Martin told them that day too. Come on, guys, we've got to steady here. They've thrown the challenge in out front of us. You know, we're 10 points down. We have to steady. And they've steadied here today too.
Chris Williams to May. Onto the right boot. Big kick. Centre half forward. In front was Bury. Ball knocked to Gunderson. Back to Aaron Perry. Fit of the fumbles. They took it off them. Finishes up now with Jim Bury. Bury kicks it up to the forward line. It gets loose to McLennan. Round his body. Round his body. The toughest of kicks. And he puts it straight through the middle.
Wow, that's just continuing to happen out here for Waratahs. Just St Mary's running with the control. Here it is here. They had control of the football. Perry with the hand pass. Napoli ever so cleverly palmed it back down in front. Spoils are everywhere. McLennan, degree of difficulty, 10. Nice goal over the left shoulder. There he is, Joel McLennan.
Well, his dad might have taught him all of that, John.
Well, whatever he did, he was obviously paying attention, because they're a hard goal, and that hurts Saints.
So we're closing on 20 minutes in the second quarter, and Saints yet to kick a goal. Who could believe it? 9-8, 62, plays 5 points as we go to 20 minutes. Now in this second quarter, high tackle over the top from Athanasiou. He gave away the free kick. The Warriors believe they've got a chance to kick another goal here. Kevin Pungramini, edge of the square. Tom Wheater in front position. They came over the top. Look at him keep his judgment. Little handball from Baxter. Knocked on further. Got to McLennan again. Gets to 50. Thumping kick. Free kick played here. St Mary's have got it, and they might also get 50 out of it.
Yeah, they've got 50. The knock-on, the attempted knock-on by Napoli was just too good. Those things just don't happen naturally, and the umpires pinged him. I don't think he saw it as such, but he knew it had to be a throw.
So Carl Gunderson, he's on the attacking side of the square. The suffering Saints supporters want a goal as the systemless forward line fails to work again as a kick rolls untouched over the boundary line for a throw-in at the 50.
Yeah, and ignored the short there too. Lidgerwood was short. I know he was not far away, but they just need to keep trying to break it up.
Big tackle on Eilert. He will be penalised. He did have a chance to get rid of it. He didn't use it. And so the Warriors kick to where Tommy Wheater slides at it. The opposite number 7 goes in. Chris Williams, he does likewise. Free kick picked out of it. Williams will get it. Advantage paid. Off they go now through Lincoln Withers. Cruises along the boundary line and then kicks it upfield. One hand on the footy. They knock it out. Hoban waits one out. Onto the left boot he goes. He tried to get it over to McLennan. Ponter read it best. Cut it off on hands and knees 30 metres out from the Warriors' goals.
Yeah, he had 3 of his teammates there in the spot, did Hobes. He just couldn't quite hit the spot, but Tipamanda Miri can. He chips in, intercepts, the whistle is gone. Free kick will go St Mary's, and it will go to Carl Gunderson.
Oh, it's all numbers here. The 2 number 5s involved in that. Tipamanda Miri on Gunderson. Chip kick, went out to Hildebrand. McLennan chased him, didn't quite get to him. He got the kick away upfield. The 2 number 16s working for it. Easton got the best of it. He got it over to Cyril Rioli, who got it to Lidgerwood. Lidgerwood for Victor Dunn. He's on a run, Victor Dunn. Braun Bush was hot on his tail. He thought better of playing on. He'll kick to O'Brien, who's wandered down into the forward line, Barry O'Brien. And he surely will kick the first goal for the Green and Golds.
Yeah, just a replay coming up. The chip in from Dunn. And O'Brien dropped into the hole very late in this second quarter. Goalless. O'Brien to change that, he would think. Will kick from no more than 40. More than likely the last scoring opportunity of this quarter.
So camera right behind him. Barry O'Brien. Follow the kick in. Right it if you're a Saints supporter. Starts it out to the right. Dismal result. He's missed and he's kicked it behind. And they've kicked plenty of them, John. When they should be kicking goals, it doesn't work.
Yeah, unbelievable result this. And the mark will be paid out there to, he's marked paid to O'Sullivan.
So Nick O'Sullivan, 50-metre defensive. Grand final day at Footy Park. Easton in front. Didn't try to mark it. Tried to put the fist on it, knocked it to ground. It worked for him. It finished up with Hildebrand. Cyril Rioli will run to 50. He'll go short now as he gives it to Athanasiou. He plays on as the pressure came at him, and he sprayed the kick out to the right, and he too kicks it behind. And Saints can't believe it. They're having a nightmare.
They have, and the nightmare is in the 2 colours out there, red and white. Waratahs are just growing arms and legs out here because it is just all working for them, and fortune favours the brave.
Nolan in front position. Ball went over the back. Finished up out there cleverly with Maloney. Maloney goes for the measure kick. Didn't get onto it properly. Lidgerwood caught it off. He looked for some support. It wasn't there. Went to Easton. Easton took the mark. Then he waits. Now he's got Athanasiou. Athanasiou couldn't get to the footy. Tommy Wheater comes at the back. Bush came from nowhere. Stole it. They're running again. Off goes Ross Napoli. He gave the handball. They missed it, but they've got so many runners. Loose ball gathered in by Tipamanda Miri. He'll run to 50 and kick long. 1-on-1 in the goal square. Ball knocked away. They get there again. John's out in front of it. He'll get to the footy first. Shots will put pressure on him. He gathers, gave the handball back, got it off to Maloney. Maloney goes to McLennan. McLennan in space, goes back, pings towards goal. Lidgerwood, terrific mark. Absolutely fantastic mark in front of Hoban.
Oh, gee, they put the pressure on then. They're just so desperate for the ball here. It should sit for O'Brien. It does. Still in.
And then he kicks to the 1-on-1. Braun Bush, look at the skills. Look at this. Be treated to footy at its very best. Braun Bush gets it over 50. Oh, out came big Frank Matthews. This is mine, he said, and it hit him on the chest and he wrapped it up.
Here's the replay. Gee, he wants it like no other forward in Darwin on his day, this Frank Matthews, and he's having a special one. The siren has gone.
Saints will go in at half-time, goalless in the grand final. Unbelievable. Big Frank Matthews. Oh, Braun Bush, you were sensational.
We'll stay with Frank. He knows where they are. He's kicked 3. It won't be an easy shot. He's kicking into a slight breeze. This will electrify the Waratah combination if he converts this. This is the half-time pill they needed. I tell you what, he's kicked it.
That kicked out of hunger, John. Hunger to win a grand final. He's kicked number 10 for them. The Warriors, 10 goals, 8, 68. Saints 7 behind.
Territory footy from the vault is thanks to these valued partners.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision.
Third quarter about to get underway, and John Stokes, you've always called it the premiership quarter. Have we already seen the premiership quarter?
Well, I think we saw it in that second quarter, Charlie. It was special. This quarter now, the Waratah side must consolidate. They've got their hand on the cup, Charlie. They need to continue with the momentum.
How deep is the hunger? This man to set him up. Hoban with the kick to the 50. Leaving the ball behind was McLennan. Hoban got it again. They caught him in a tackle was Kynaston. Tough tackle there on Easton. Went in looking for the footy. Kicked off the ground by Frankie Matthews. Hoban got the ball finished up with Hoban. He was put under pressure. Dropped it on the right boot. May have just got it inside the boundary line. Rolled over the boundary line for a throw-in. Let's quickly go down the boundary line. More angle.
Yeah, basically Ted Liddy has asked his players to get interested in the game. Bill Martin's obviously still happy, but he's asked his players to start again, Charlie. Go back to where the scores are level.
Oh, there's some news in that for you, John.
You know, fair enough call too from Bill Martin. I mean, he knows that his side's got this game where they want it, but he also wants to make sure that his players continue on in the second half with the momentum and the desire, and the best way to do that is to go back to basics and start all over again.
Well, I can tell you 3 St Mary's players that I can see down there on the interchange area. Mick Athanasiou stretching the hamstrings. He's not fit. I can see Jared Eilert there, and Aaron Perry. There's no way in the world that Aaron Perry was fit either.
No, that's right. They gambled heavily with that. I mean, they've been at the club a long time, those players, and the coach had no option but to let them make the decision. And obviously, as the snap goes around the corner, oh, that was close. It's missed everything in the finish. Bury again. What a perfect foil down there he's been for Johns and Matthews. And yes, so it was always their call, Charlie. And Waratahs, on the other hand, have gone in with no injuries. And there's Bill Martin on screen there, a happy coach.
And Chris Williams in that group with him. Lidgerwood gives it off to Hildebrandt. Down the corridor he goes. Good-looking kick too as he got it up to Kynaston. Kynaston back to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt kicks for Victor Dunn. This the most promising move from St Mary's. Can they put together an amazing second half? Away goes Victor Dunn with a big kick. It's into the forward line. Stanislaw's got there. Patrick Long was hit high and will get the free kick. He wants 50. And justifiably, he can ask for it. Whistle blown now. And the player still went on to kick it. Maybe should have been 50.
Yes, he let him off the hook there. There's umpire Horn on screen as well. The kick just being relayed back to Patrick Long.
Out comes Stanislaus. I'll tell you what, Waratahs, you rest for 5 minutes and this team will pounce.
My word, they've got nothing to lose here whatsoever. They'll be delirious if they can get a couple of unanswered goals on the board, and then every minute it's just trench warfare for them from their end.
Their best goal kicker of many, many seasons, Brian Stanislaus, bangs away at goal. And it didn't work for him then either. He's kicked it behind.
There's another good crowd shot there, and there, of course, is the multi-hatted Chester. Unlucky to miss out on the promotional trip to Sydney.
Now the big kick out from defence. Matt Schultz got it out wide. It's out towards the half-back line. Handball came in, ball knocked towards the 50-metre line. Handball under pressure here. Kick off the ground by Victor Dunn. Lidgerwood got it. Another little handball out. Waratahs being asked to work hard here in defence now. It gets out to Patrick Long. He went with a little kick. Stanislaus this time, surely. Yes. It's taken them 2 quarters and a few minutes. And finally, they've got it. The Majors have kicked a goal. Nearly 4 minutes into the third quarter.
Yeah, unbelievable. There's the replay coming up. They were all in it. It just finally squeezed out. Something had to go right sooner or later. Hildebrandt with the flick out. Patrick Long was a clever little chip. Stanislaus, he won't miss him, Mulligan. He's had a couple of ordinary shots at goal. That one, bang on the money.
It was Kevin Pangramini, the man there, number 20. You saw him on screen. He's had the minding job on Stanislaus and has done a remarkable job to half-time. He was beaten by the bounce that time, and Stanislaus got his hands on the footy and was able to kick a goal. Matt Wakeland from the middle. The crowd trying to lift the green and goals. Big tackle over the top of Dullard. He lost the footy. Other Saints on revival time here. Finishes up with Anthony Vallejo. Into the forward line. James Singh has the mark. Well, we looked very confident as he went at the footy. It was a good kick.
And there's the replay. Good grab out in front in the hands. He also has had a couple of shots today. It hasn't worked for him either. But one senses the drought's broken here with Stanislaus' last goal. We'll back this one in, I think. And he's missed.
It's a poor miss. Really, James Singh should have kicked that at the 5-minute mark. They might have built on it. He's let them down. The Warriors now feeling some pressure for the first time in the grand final. Up in St Mary's forward line. Kick from Gunderson, and it just ran away from Singh out there and went over the boundary line. So the green and gold's doing all the attacking.
Yes, and I think Waratahs are doing what Bill Martin would not have wanted them to do. They've just gone back a little bit. The handbrake's on. Vallejo with the hands. Long under siege. Waratahs through Napoli will make the breakaway. He has to bounce. There's no one home. And he'll go for the safety of the boundary line. Throw in on the 50. Saints into attack.
And his problem there was McLennan upfield, who got caught behind Anthony Vallejo. Ted Liddy might be a little happier with things at the moment, but he'd dearly love a couple more goals. McLennan was caught behind Vallejo and didn't run for the space, and he left his teammate with nowhere to go. Now the handball to May. He'll get onto it. Easton comes to him. Plenty of red and white runners here. The ball bounces nicely for them. Here's McLennan. He's got 20 metres of space. Can he go over the top? He went long. Did he read it right? Oh, they just charge onto it. Kevin Baxter. Sensational. Oh, he took him on, and he kicked a fabulous goal.
And have a look at that. They like that. That's how you hit the packs. That's how you rode. Have a look at the desire here on Kevin Baxter. Good work by McLennan. The kick was a ripper. He will flash into the picture here. Took him on and just regained his balance. If ever they needed anything. Baxter's just given it to them. And there's a good shot of the Waratah Brigade there as well. They're loving this. 22 years.
22 years in the wilderness. They might be a power side to be reckoned with for some time now. Tap out of the middle. Wakeland to Hoban. The skipper charges upfield. Gets it almost on the bounce to David Johns. It didn't bounce. It hit him on the chest and then came off. And he's come away with either a mark or a free kick. Only the replay will tell us. Well, gee.
He's paid the mark. And I think he sort of thought about it, but it was too late. He'd blown the whistle. He can't unblow it. And Johns, well, he's done it once already in the second quarter. Very reliable shot at goal. This just to excite the Waratah machine again. Johns from 40. It's on its way. They like it.
They know it's big. They know it's a big one. And the other hand comes out, John, and just suggests that it's about to wrap around the Premiership Cup.
Yes, it's on it. Here's the replay. Look at this by Hoban. Good roving in the last minute by Baxter and Hoban. He marked that. Dead set marked it. Good work in the centre. Big Matty Wakeland. A tired Rick Nolan. He's done everything he can do for his side. And Wakeland, just like his team, just appears to be starting to get on top in here and setting up the withers. Also, good roving there before by Hoban.
Lidgerwood trying to fire them up in the middle. Hildebrandt's in there with him. Also is Tommy Wheatra. Nolan got it to Wheatra. Gets himself into space, drops it on the left boot, puts it in the pathway of Victor Dunn. Running across the front is Matty Schultz. Goes with the left boot. Gunderson might get there first. Baxter chases it as well. Richardson Brunbury under pressure on the far side. They've taken it off from the Warriors. This big kick into the forward line. Ponta has good position. He got front position. Hands on the footy. He went looking for it. Oh, it's all working for the Warriors. Bury will run into the open goal and kick another one. Oh, scintillating, sensational football from the Red and Whites. Almost 10 minutes gone. And they nail it down a little further.
That's where it started through Kevin Baxter. The kick-in was good. The contest was good. Ponta did everything right, but so did Matthews. And look at the hand pass. Fury, as we've said a couple of times in this call, he's been a perfect foil up there for him, and they like it.
Too big, too strong, too good. The Warriors dominating the grand final. 13 goals, 8-1-9. New style of footy we're seeing in the NTFL, John. Haven't seen it for a long time. It's physical, it's tough, and it needs some big fellas to do it.
And it's played straight down the centre of the corridor.
Vallejo runs from the middle, skirts it out wide, wants Cyril Rioli. Warden, the perfect foil for him. Cyril gets back around onto his right boot, brings the kick in. Pangramini cuts them off, backward of centre half back. Looks upfield, sees Wakeland there, goes short instead, drops it into Dullard. Big tackle over the top from Tommy Wheatra. He waited. He just waited for him, and then he wrapped him up and got the free kick.
Yes, he was gone from the moment. Wheatra's gone short, and he's found Gunderson. He'll kick from, well, he's outside he'll just kick from inside 50, maybe 48 metres. Dunn on the move. That's the way he's going, and Dunn comes out and takes a good mark, leading to the flat side of the field. He'll now have a shot at goal from no more than 40 metres out, almost directly in front.
Well, Russell May went with him for a little while, and then he pulled out of it and left Pangramini to do the job, but Victor Dunn was able to continue on with his run, and really, surely, he must kick a goal here.
Stay with him. Moving in now. Kicking from 40. On its way. Straight through the middle. Goal number 2 to St Mary's. Goal number 1 to Victor Dunn.
13-8 to 2-9. 11 and a half minutes gone. 65 points the margin.
Just the replay coming up. Chip in by Gunderson was good. And a good smart lead there too by Dunn.
Fowler in there now to do the ruck work. Nolan off on the interchange area. Eilert, Athanasiou and Perry to keep him company. From the centre. Tommy Wheater finished up doing the ruck work. Tim Maloney from the middle, got it out to Napoli. Marks on the wing, grandstand side, 30 metres in from the boundary line, kicks to centre half forward. Good fist from the back from O'Brien. Handball out to Gunderson. They're on him in a flash. He had the good presence of mind to get the boot to it. Kicked it out to Hildebrandt. He went further with the handball and gave it to Richardson Brumbury. He goes upfield, searching up there for Iggy Vallejo. He gets it. They ran him down. Braun Bush from behind. Ball forced towards the boundary line. Braun Bush sensational. But Vallejo gets back there now. Iggy Vallejo, as Keranua gets to him, he chipped it across to Gunderson. He takes them on, gets around Wakeland. Then he has to turn back onto his left boot. He kicks. Anthony Vallejo there, caught it, dropped it in front of Pangramini. The whistle had gone. He has it. Can he get to Easton? No, he goes long. He wants Victor Dunn. He's in good position, Victor Dunn. It was knocked away. Patrick Long got it. He was caught. He will be nailed with the footy. He tried to look for Stanislaus. Out comes Russell May with the footy. Oh, they're terrific in defence. They roll this up towards the wing. Runners everywhere. Easton has to do the chase work. Kick to McLennan. He looks upfield. Hoban's an option. Will he be the crummer here, Hoban, if the ball comes to ground? It comes out. Picked up by Johns. Goal's open. Bangs away at goal and misses it to the left. If he'd hung on just a second, flying past would have been the skipper, Hoban. He didn't know that, of course. He went with the kick and he missed everything.
Yes, I think he was hoping to see someone storming into that goal square from the other side of the field. There's another shot of the Waratah crowd. They're enjoying this. We're closing down on 15 minutes and still breakneck speed. Ball from one end of the field to the other.
Good ruck work there from Wheater. He's got it to Legerwood, who got it off out there to Gunderson. He went back. Hildebrandt has it. Looked as though he was going to play on. But he's okay. He's still behind the mark. And down there is Kevin Baxter, standing on the mark just inside the 50 defensive. Ponter at right angles. Blink Withers on the mark. Ponter now. He goes for Stanislaus. Gets there, Stanislaus in his hip pocket as usual. Is Kevin Pangramini. He's been the perfect foil for Brian Stanislaus, hasn't he, throughout the last few games of the season?
Yes, he has. He's a tremendous minder. And he's got such balance and he can read the play so well too, almost as good as Stanislaus.
Gunderson dances away and then drops it on the right boot. Goes over the top. Tommy Wheater somehow got down onto the half-forward line. Gave it to Singh. Singh goes for Victor Dunn. In the way. Oh, he's been a good defensive player is Matt Schultz. He gave it off to Bush. Bush kicked it up to the perfect wing player is McLennan. Look at the kick for Johns. Won't stay in play. Just went over. I tell you what, McLennan has played very, very well between the wing and the half-forward line. A link man's job to perfection.
Yes, that's right. That's his job. He must supply the links to the backs and he must supply the feed and the ball work into his forwards. He's doing it well. Stevens on, Wakeland off.
Looks like May. Yep.
Tipperman Mary going on. Russell May going off.
Ball parked down in the forward pocket for the Warriors. In goes Hoban. Comes out to Legerwood. Don't doubt the courage of John Legerwood. He's worked very hard today. Got half a kick away. Ball run to the 50-metre line. Pushed out to Williams. Williams for McLennan. Got there under pressure from Ponter. In comes some heavy work there from O'Brien. Williams got the heavy one. Dullard unloads. Here's a chance for the Warriors. Link Withers onto the left boot. They're under a lot of pressure, the Warriors. They've kicked it out of bounds on the full. Alongside the behind post, Tim Shots to bring the ball into play.
And they're looking tired now too, Saints. It's just been relentless. The pressure that's been supplied on them has been relentless. They're struggling with Waratahs at the moment, who are still breaking away from one end of the field to the other with amazing pace.
Kynaston from inside the 50-metre defensive. Kicks to the wing on the far side of the ground. Gunderson gets another touch. Look at him scoot away. He'll take him on. And then he lost the bounce. It just didn't come up for him. It's a difficult thing to do on the wet ground, but he still wants it. He's done remarkably well as he got it over to Vallejo, and then he got another touch. Then he was knocked out of it. Vallejo parked over the top of the footy. They hold it up. Over there is Nick O'Sullivan. Don't doubt the courage either of Carl Gunderson. That was a terrific passage of play from him.
Well, he's just sent some signals out to some of his players around him. He said, come on, guys, if you want goals, we've got to put some big efforts in here to get some pride and respectability back. And Gunderson's one that's doing it. So too is Troy Easton.
So throw in, 60 metres out from the Saints' goals. 21 plays 86. Little knockdown. Warden gets into space and then goes with the left boot. Kynaston to cut it off. Hoban closes on him. He gets away. Gave the handball to Ponta. Ponta back into play, or back into midfield. Gives it off to O'Brien. O'Brien for Stanislaus. Adam Kerenua on the mark. Stanislaus, what's on offer? Singh maybe. Short for PJ Long. Got too far under the footy and lost it. And now the Warriors up towards the half-forward line they go. Barry O'Brien cuts it off at centre half back. Takes the mark there. Nowhere to go though. He's looking for something. There's not much on offer. Half leads coming from everywhere. And now he concedes 30 metres of space, John, and goes back and gives it to Potter in the back pocket. Potter out wide to Stanislaus, and they haven't advanced any further downfield. And now they have. 3 kicks later, they're 2 metres further advanced as they finish up with Mark Hildebrand. Now they go out wide. Anthony Vallejo on the wing. 13-8 to 2-9. Vallejo with the kick. Cyril Rioli. A little push on Warden. Out of bounds on the full. Warden happy with that. He'll get the resultant free kick.
Charlie, Saints are 65 points behind and they're playing chip and possession football. There's a good shot at some of their supporters. It's about time that some of these St Mary's players out there started to open things up and started to run down the corridor like some of the Waratah players are. What's the point of racking up possessions at this stage of the game? Let's start taking a few risks and having a bit of a dip out there rather than just racking up possessions.
Wobbly kick from Nick O'Sullivan. A little push out on Kynaston. Might have come from Frankie Matthews. And Kynaston, solid defender for the Saints all year, gives it out to Brian Stanislaus from the wing. Iggy Vallejo, and Iggy Vallejo has it just on the attacking side of the wing. There's Mick Athanasiou. Well, the hamstring let him down, John. Finally, it had to tell, didn't it?
Oh, my word, it did. We're just looking at Singh there too. He's reeling around the corner, has gone in short. They've just done it again. They've chipped it up, and guess who? Braun Bush.
And Bush kicks it up to the wing. Kynaston versus Matthews. Help there from Ponta. Back to Kynaston. Little kick back in field. Cut off. Shane Tipperman-Tamiri. Looks upfield. Hoban. Kerenua. Easton came from behind and took it. Kerenua another chance. Slick handball to Hoban. He'll get there. This'll sit for him. He gave the handball back in field to Maloney. Bangs away at goal, Maloney. Has he kicked it? Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Look at him celebrate. They know it now, if they didn't know it 15 minutes ago.
Yes, and the icing on the cake there. Good vision here by Tipperman-Tamiri. Hoban uncertain there. Kerenua stayed in the contest. Just stayed right in the contest. There's the give to Hoban. Had time to chase a rolling, difficult ball. And he goes back onto the trusted left boot of Maloney.
Awesome performance for the most important game of the year from the Warriors. Williams onto the handball from Withers. They're in attack again. Out they come, out of the hands of David Johns. He'll get another chance out of Johns. Hoban, he's in space. He'll have a shot at them, Hoban. Why not? Why not kick another one? Raining goals for the red and whites.
It's a replay. The numbers they had here is amazing. And the desire. Johns was good. And then got the second effort in again. Hoban back up. Just spins out of that. Straightens up. And the skipper, who's led from the front for the years that he's been at that club, he's kicked his second goal, and I think his supporters, they loved it.
Part of that big crowd here today enjoying grandstand footy. The last game of the season in the NTFL, and the Warriors have just been fantastic. From the middle, Fowler got the tap to Lidgerwood. Lidgerwood for Kynaston to Easton. He couldn't get it. Losing the ball there was Shane Tipper, Mantamiri. Big tackle from Tommy Wheatrap. Oh, he's a great tackler, isn't he? He caught Jim Bury and rode him into the ground and drew a free kick.
Yeah, he doesn't know when to stop this time, Wheatrap. He's got pride, and he'll put them right into attack with his kick.
Little push out there on Singh. Too many players to have to deal with for Singh. The player who just came on then is Jared Eilert. As Hildebrandt comes off. And Jared Eilert has been on the interchange bench. Still got some good football in front of him in the years to come. A little block there on Singh, but the mark was taken by Nick O'Sullivan. Short kick, gave it off to Withers. Withers wanted to get the hands free. Tommy Wheatrap says, no, you don't. And back goes Withers now. Looks to the middle, goes right over the top. Terenua he wants. He'll have a paddock to run on. Gunderson will chase him. Look at the leg speed. Gets to 50, loses his footing, and will be penalised. Well, the conditions told on him. Johnny lost his footing.
Yeah, he's one of the only players that can get away with that, but he just didn't then. They wrapped him up, fair enough. Good kick from Withers, good vision.
Jason Dullard brings it back into field. Hoban, the skipper might kick another one. That's all he's interested in. Slow the game down. It's working just exactly how they want it.
There's the replay. He was always in the right spot then, Hobes.
12 kicks, 3 marks and 4 handballs.
Not a bad shot at goal either. In back play, Braun Bush is still down with some kind of leg trouble, just getting to his feet now. Hoban will kick from 45.
Kicks at goal. I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough. I think they've skipped out even further. They will not give up. They want to repay St Mary's for many, many years of finishing second to them, and they're belting them here in the grand final. 16-8 to 2-9.
Tired legs, and have a look at the distance he found with that kick. 50 metres. 3 goals, Anthony Hoban. They're kicking goals at will. They have 9 individual goal scorers out there, and have a look at that supporter. He's got the colours on, and he knows where he's going tonight.
Well, he's got everything on, John. He's got the shorts, he's got the whole lot. He's dressed for celebrations. He's got plenty who'll go with him. 16-8 to 2-9, close to three-quarter time. Ruck work in the middle. Winning the tap there was O'Sullivan. Gets to Eilert. Eilert kicks upfield. Perry in front position. He goes after the footy. They'll almost take it off him. Good work, Perry, as he got it to Lidgerwood. Lidgerwood kicks upfield. Running back with the flight of the ball. Matt Schultz has been just terrific in defence.
Yeah, what a defender. He really has concreted up their back line since he arrived. And Bury, we've mentioned him before. He's been great also. Bad players for Waratahs are impossible to find, and Tipperman Miri can recover from this.
Ponta, as they close on him. Fowler will give a little give to Lidgerwood. Lidgerwood for Eilert. They close on Eilert. Ball goes to ground. They got around Perry. They got more traffic in front of them though. Richardson Brunbury gets onto it. Left foot kick to Victor Dunn. Caught it and then lost it. Schultz comes away with a handball. Gets to Easton. Tommy Wheatrap goes back. Oh, they're being forced back. Even further now with Ponta. Baxter gets to him. High kick. Oh, good vision though. He kicked it in the mud patch. But fortunately, he kicked it to Eilert. Eilert this time to Victor Dunn. Hits him on the chest and he wraps it up. In front of the crowd. On the grandstand, or in the grandstand, as he gives it to Cyril Rioli. Anthony Vallejo out wide. Big kick from Cyril Rioli. Vallejo got there, lost it, should have held it. Napoli will clean it up. Clever little push off. Handball on further. They can go even further. They can't do anything wrong, the Warriors. Ponta versus Hoban. Hoban lost it. In they come. Good tackle there from Kynaston. Ball up for grabs here. Players go over the top. Kynaston in absolute desperation had to throw the tackle on and he was able to do it.
And Bill Martin on screen again. He'll be just counting down the seconds to three-quarter time. He's got one more address, one more chore to do before he grabs the cup.
Three-quarter time. Three-quarter time. They've kicked 6 goals to 2, the Warriors. Big leaders at three-quarter time. 16-8, 104 to 2-9, 21.
And as the goal kick is coming up for Waratahs, Matthews has 4, Hoban 3, Johns 2, singles to Keranua and Tippermantamiri. For Saints, singles to Dunn and Stanislaus.
So let's have a look at those stats at half-time, John.
For the Waratahs side, 214 possessions. As against 226 for Saints. We spoke about the chip and chase before. The hit-outs favour the Waratahs 30-29, and the frees favour St Mary's 15-13.
Territory footy from the Vault is thanks to these valued partners.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet, and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better, and I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision.
Well, the final quarter about to get underway here at Football Park Marara. Grand final action. The blowout that has seen this game. The scoreline 16-8, 104 the Waratahs. St Mary's 2-9-21. 25 minutes of football left for the Waratah side to claim their first cup since 1976-77 season, and they're away.
So ball up in the middle. Nolan went to ground as the ball came down. First run out of the middle belonged to the Warriors. Came from Lincoln Withers. Got up almost to the half-forward line. Easton gets there. Dropped it on the left boot. Kicked it further upfield. Prangramini out in front of Stanislaus and runs away from him. Kicks it out wide to the wing. Tom Wheatra will chase it towards the wing on the far side. It'll sit up for him just out there too. And Wheatra measures the kick back in field. Only Pride left for St Mary's to play for, John.
That's right, and some of the players out there have already demonstrated how far they're prepared to go. And Bush will break away, but the kick will come back to Eilert. Interference as he was going for the ball.
So Jared Eilert, scoreboard wing. Green and gold had their colours lowered here today. Gets around the back. Gets out to Perry. Aaron Perry to Victor Dunn. Victor Dunn runs in for Saints and goals on some spillage. And for just a moment there, the forward line looked a little effective for St Mary's. They've kicked their third in the grand final. They trailed 16-8 to 3-9.
And just a replay coming up here now. You see Dunn run onto this. Tackle from McLennan was good, but he just had the ball on the boot at the right time.
So the ball goes back to the middle. And Nolan, gee, what a tough day he's had to put together today, big Rick Nolan.
He's got a big heart, Rick Nolan. He's gone at it all day out there. He's had the odd spell from Blake Fowler, but the rest of the time, he's just been into them and at them.
Well, he won that tap down. Chris Williams waited on him, tried to soccer it off the ground. Eilert went in. Williams tried another soccer off the ground. Stack of players over the top. And umpire Rosebery will have to ball it up in the centre of the ground again. 16-8 plays 3-9.
And there's no doubt Waratahs will be very, very keen to run this game out. They won't want to stop. They won't want to concede any unanswered goals to St Mary's. They don't want nothing to spoil their night at Fanny Bay.
Pangramini reads it best at the back, playing front position and playing the percentages was Anthony Hoban. Takes a very good mark on his chest and then brings it up into the forward line. Reaching from the back there was Jim Bury, but the ball finished up there for the Warriors. They can kick for goal. The ball rolled And then a cruel leg break, John. Spun off to the left and went through for a behind.
Good shepherd in the goal square by Peranua. He didn't know which way it was going to bounce. And Maloney that time on his right foot, having the shot, and Shots will kick it out.
Tim Shots. Beautiful kick to the edge of the square. Nolan tried to tap it over to Lidgerwood. It got to him at the second chance. And now they can bring it up towards the half-forward line. Warriors there, though, running out Nick O'Sullivan. Slides across and takes the mark. Warden just props, stands and delivers it upfield immaculately. Warriors playing percentage footy. They're going to enjoy the last quarter of the grand final. Cyril Rioli comes from behind. And again, gets off to Gunderson. Gunderson, short kick. And Iggy Vallejo in front of the scoreboard. Far side of the ground takes the mark. Patrick Long on a big lead. It's been ignored, though. The long kick. Athanasiou in good position here. The fist came, knocked it down. Anthony Vallejo chasing this footy. He'll get into some space, Vallejo. Onto his left boot. Brought it in. Warden cuts it off. He goes one way and then the other. Goes right across the face of goals. He knew Napoli was there. Napoli's got Akridge in front of him. Uses the kick because it moves a little quicker than the feet across the turf, John. And then the kick a little further upfield here. Runners everywhere. Williams. Well, the handball had to hit him on the chest. It didn't. It was pretty good from Tipper Mantamiri, but he needed to put it right on the chest there of the running Chris Williams.
Yes, he was running out of space fast, Williams, and the hand pass just a little bit astray, but he's had a special day and he's in it again.
Eilert. Nolan hugs the boundary line, the big man. Kicks very well with the right boot. Ooh, running hard back there was Kevin Pangramini. He copped a very heavy hit from PJ Long, but the ball finished up in the hands of Link Withers. He goes to Napoli. Napoli can look out wide. Who's he see? Dawn Bush. He'll test Cyril Rioli from there. Cyril to chase. He won't close on him. Dawn Bush. Look at him go for goals. Look at this footballer. Oh, he celebrates as he runs up the middle at Football Park. There he is. The red and white hair. Dawn Bush sets the place alive at the 5-minute mark.
And not for the first time today either, as a replay comes up. Withers has gone short. Napoli, good vision, spotted Bush. Cyril Rioli giving chase. In one bounce, second bounce, crosses 50, tired legs, bangs it through, and the goals keep coming.
Red flash, John, that's what we'll call him. He was just gone, wasn't he? There was no way anyone was going to stop him. Braun Bush, oh, he's having a great afternoon. So the ball comes back to the... And we pick up play at the 5.5-minute mark of this last quarter. Saints have kicked a goal, but the bad news for them is that Braun Bush has kicked an absolute beauty for the Warriors. Smother down in the middle. Getting across there is Nolan. He left it for Cyril Rioli. Handball came from Gunderson. Back to Eilert. Eilert on the left boot. Big kick down to centre half forward. Athanasiou in front position. It came to Patrick Long. He got the kick up to Victor Dunn. Victor Dunn's kicked one in this last quarter. He couldn't get onto this one. He couldn't control the footy. McLennan went to the boundary line. Napoli. Every kick counts. Oh, they play the percentages so well. Napoli for Williams. Strong hands at the footy. Off he goes. Searches now. Kicks around his body. Looks upfield. Shane, Tipper Mantamiri. Unloads the handball. Lincoln Withers. Runs from outside 50. Brings it into the forward line. Up went Kinniston. He lost it. Easton cleans up across the half-back line. Comes back along the grandstand wing. In front, Lidgerwood. Nolan in support. Pressure put on there by Tipper Mantamiri. Lidgerwood across to Gunderson. Gunderson can go further upfield. Who's he want? Tommy Wheatra. Wheatra. Quick hands to Nolan. Nolan now gets it across to Hildebrandt. Here's the problems. Hildebrandt now can give it off to Gunderson. He gets away, Gunderson. Gets to 50. Touches down. Goes with the left boot. Wants Victor Dunn. Victor Dunn beaten. And beaten comprehensively by Matt Schultz. Big kick into the centre of the ground. Cyril Rioli one way and then the other. Cyril Rioli onto the right boot. Kicks and gets it off to Mark Hildebrandt. Well, the future for Cyril Rioli, John, will we see him again next year?
Very hard to say that. He won't want to finish up like this, I can say that for him. Neither will Mick Athanasiou. They want to go out on a winning note. Hildebrandt stuck in the centre square. Options have closed down. PJ Long is the only mover and has marked 38 to 40 metres out directly in front.
Johnny has led tirelessly all day And then he just gives it off to big Ricky Nolan, and he says, Rick, reward yourself for having been our best big man all year. And big Rick helps himself to a goal.
Yes, and well done. Well done to Rick Nolan. We've said it a few times this year. There's no harder working big man in the competition than him. And very unselfish play there by Patrick Long.
So good footy, 17-9 to 4-9. It's been a terrific game, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. It promised everything at the start. The build-up was special. And the start of this grand final was just what you dream about. Hard at it. And Waratahs come out and just played a scintillating brand of football.
111 to 33. Well, if you'd gone in a draw to try and pick the margin, and you'd have seen this much, you'd have wondered what's happening. Let's quickly go down to the boundary line now to more angle.
Yes, Charlie, the Saints camp is very sad and subdued. Ted Leahy's basically asked them to get off the flanks and start kicking the ball up the centre. Bill Martin and his players, on the other hand, are very confident, and Bill wants them to just put the nail in the coffin, and he doesn't want Saints getting a half respectable score in this final quarter.
Oh, he's a mean man, John.
Yeah, big bad Bill. He wants to rub their noses into the football park, and they're doing that right now, and that's the only way it'll continue. They want more. In one sense, they're going to get them, and Withers is just the man to do it.
Withers from the middle gets to Easton, kicked off the ground from Ponta, way out on the full on the far side of the ground. Gee, it just, when it doesn't work for you, John, it just doesn't work at all. Saints there's part of that subdued crowd. They're not used to this, and they've really copped the football hiding here today.
Haven't they ever? In both camps, contrasting areas that they're in. Waratahs, they'd wish there'd been more days like this in their distinguished career. They haven't tasted it since 1977. That's going to taste good tonight, one feels.
Kick to the 50-metre line. Eilert ran over the top of the footy. He had to go back. It was socket off the ground. Nolan goes down low, gives it to Tommy Wheatra. Wheatra kicks for Hildebrandt. Pressure from Pangramini at the back. Here they come again, the Warriors. They bring it down to the edge of the square. Not clear to Gunderson. He's tried hard. Oh, very, very good work there. That was from Tipperman to Mary. He got it to Napoli. It's down in the forward line. John's onto it. He can get the handball off. Advantage played here now. Look at him go. Shane Tipperman to Mary. Runs in. Kicks another one. And celebrates in the goal square.
Well, that's good to see that. You can just see these players. They're releasing everything. Their supporters can't. The replay comes up with Napoli. He's been good. The contest here was great. Johns had already been paid the free kick. Play on was the call out. Why not when you got Tipperman to Mary on the fly?
Oh, terrific play. I tell you what, if you live in Fanny Bay, you won't be resting tonight. There'll be a little shed out there near an oval that the roof will be lifted off, because the Warriors won the reserve grade grand final as well. 10-10 to St Mary's 9-8. And St Mary's took out the under-18s 11-11 to Nightcliff 8-3. Ball in the middle. Nolan doing the roving work. Free kick picked out of it. It's going to go to the other big man there in Matt Wakeland. He's got it in the middle. Turned it into a free handball. Now they can go up towards the half-forward line. More magic is the call from the Waratah supporters. They want to see more goals kicked. Desperation time now. This kick will be paid upfield to Gunderson, no doubt about that. A late tackle there. Well, can you forgive a player this late in the game, John, for a little indiscretion if he's wearing the red and white?
My word, you can. And he's already been forgiven. And Gunderson, the kick is good to Rioli. He's played on. He's been called to play on. He has no one. And he'll go right out wide.
They are being forced back. Ponta gives it off to Iggy Vallejo. He's forward of the wing. Iggy Vallejo sets it up for Aaron Perry. And Perry, you can just see he's very, very croppy. The right knee is not right.
He spent a long time on the sidelines following knee surgery. He'll kick from 45. It looks good. It may drift. It's hit the post. Nothing has gone right for them today. They had their chances early in this match, but poor conversion meant they were goalless until sometime around about near half-time, and everything Waratahs touched, it just turned to gold.
Now short is Napoli. Gee, what a good player he has been today. Ross Napoli, he is a tough player. There he is in the back pocket. They chip it around and share it. Tim Maloney inside the 50 defensive. Pangramini as they close. Well, they could close from anywhere. Wouldn't bother Pangramini. He tries to get over the top here. It does. It gets to Hoban. Back in field. Gets to Hoban again from the hand of Tippermantameri. Hoban, desperate for the footy. In goes Warden with a smothering tackle. Out comes Eilert with the football. Onto the right boot. Look at the smother. Look at the smother from Anthony Hoban. That will win him the medal for best on ground in the grand final, John.
There's just a replay coming up. This is desperation. Regardless of what time in the match it is, captains must do those things, and no one does it better than him.
He will be rewarded for a fantastic effort today. He'll wear a grand final premiership medallion. Gunderson knocked down after the play. Cyril Rioli rolls it back under his body and then goes in and steals it again. Cyril Rioli, he can't get it. It comes out. Look at the runners here. Off they go. Joel McLennan directly out in front. Lets them all down. Unbelievably. He's got an injury. Oh, he's up. The knee might have given away. You don't want an injury now. Too much celebrating to do, John.
Yeah, it's just a bit of injured pride there. He knew he should have wrapped that up and he didn't. He was just chatting himself as to, come on, you've got to do better. He's had a good day.
Shots. Kicks to the one-on-one. Who's up first? Braun Bush pulled out of the contest and will get the free kick. And we'll get 50. Look at this man. He has been sensational.
I'll tell you what, Charlie, I think this medal decision is going to be very, very difficult. They might have a couple each way on Braun Bush. We'll soon know. It won't be long. He has done some absolutely unbelievable things out there today. They've both been good. What a pity you have to split them.
And I think Braun Bush may be on his way to Port Adelaide, playing with the mighty Port Adelaide in the SANFL. He's kicked it up into the forward line. Out they come with Easton. Easton's long kick gets to Hildebrand, bounces over the top of him, gets through the legs of Pangramini. Second line waiting for it is Warden. He pushed it out. Finished up with Lidgerwood. It opens up in front of John Lidgerwood. He kicks to Victor Dunn. He's got a couple to beat. Patrick Long skirts them all. He gets around and pushes it out in front of him. Clever play, Patrick Long. It pushed out to Victor Dunn. He'll roll this at the goals. It'll continue to roll. But the Warriors say, no way. No easy goals here. They kick it out to Napoli. Stands, waits, props the ball in front of him. Sockers towards the boundary line. Well, he tried to show them all that he was trying to pick the footy up, John. What he was praying for was the white line. It eventually got to him and the footy went over.
Yes, it took its time as far as Napoli was concerned. Geez, another player that's been good out there today. Terrific link man performance.
See who gets up last from that pack, John. He'll be wearing number 4. There he is. Look at him. Hoban, captain courageous today.
Yes, and he knows he's only got a few more minutes of agony left out here, and then it's time to let go.
Chris Williams came to the Warriors from the Darwin Footy Club. He'll enjoy a grand final. Hoban again. He couldn't get it. Gunderson, who's been good during the latter half of the season, knocked down to Victor Dunn. Patrick Long has been very good up in the forward line. Round the body goes Victor Dunn for James Singh. Gathers it, caught from behind and then got away. Will Singhi kick a goal in the grand final? He finally got it onto the left boot and he finally kicked a goal. James Singh, he came to Saints from playing with Southern Districts and also the Darwin Football Club.
Yes, and he puts the 5th goal on the board as the replay comes up. Good chase on the footy, good tap back from Long. The chip from Dunn was just a little too long initially. There's some great applause there for Ross Napoli. Celebration times have already started for him.
Richard Purantadameri, he's going to get a bit of a run out there. Nick O'Sullivan wants to be out there when the final siren goes. 13 goals the difference. Unbelievable scoreline. McLennan from the middle. Bounce went over the top. Cut off there by Gavin Richardson-Brumbury. To the centre. Waiting for it was Kevin Pangramini. He goes out wide. Warriors, look at this. Pace and plenty of it. They run in. Kick it goal. They might have missed it. Off to the left. Might have been Adam Kerenua, was it, John?
Yes, it was. It was Adam on the trusty left foot. He's tired. Matty Wakeland comes off. Good shot of the crowd. On goes Stevens. But they won't be on the bench long, Charlie. They'll be out there when that siren goes.
The long kick out now, comes over the back, ball went to ground, in went shot, picked it up, onto the right boot, he goes up to the wing, waiting for it there is Purantata Mary, caught in a big tackle and will be penalised. So free kick to Carl Gunderson. These young players for Saints, Gunderson and Iggy Valasia have been very good. This man, the Nichols medalist, has been fantastic. Tommy Wheater bangs at goal and he misses to the left. It's been a fantastic year of football, hasn't it, John?
My word, it has. And there's been the emergence of a couple of other clubs that have come into calculations, and that's what has the NTFL boys rubbing their hands together. No longer is it a one-horse race in this town, and Waratahs are proving that today.
Ball came over the top. Now here's the problem for Saints. Runners are plenty. There's one of them. Shane Tipper-Murray. Tipper-Murray, sit back and enjoy this. Handball over the top. Keranua lost it. Tipper-Murray might get another chance at it. He left it behind. Socket off the ground. And finally, John, maybe, just maybe, the Warrior runners have got a little tired.
Yes, they have. There's no doubt that emotion and adrenaline got them going in the first half, seeing in back play very, very proppy. But right now, exhaustion starting to take over with some of the Waratah players, and why not?
It's been a great year for them.
Baxter.
On the loose ball, Kevin Baxter has a look, and he misses off to the left and kicks up behind.
Nolan off, O'Brien on.
19 minutes gone. Counting down for the grand final. Big Rick Nolan walks off. Shane Potter to bring the ball back into play. And he kicks Richardson Bunbury. He got onto it. Did Richardson Bunbury and kicked it up to the wing. Vallejo, Cyril Rioli. Perry will run into space. Aaron Perry crosses 50, runs a long way, and then kicks unselfishly to the Nichols medalist. And Tommy Wheater goes back and kicks a late goal for the Green and Golds. It's been a big year for him, but with mixed emotions, he'll go into the change room, John. He won the Nichols medal, deservedly so, but they've been belted here in the grand final.
Yes, they have. And Vallejo on screen there. Good hand pass to Rioli. Hand pass again was good to Perry. Perry spots Wheater lurking up in the goal square, finds him. There's one thing that Tom Wheater can do as he walks off this oval today, and have to keep his head up in the air, because he has really put in, as he always does.
Some of the people enjoying the footy here. Families coming back to footy, and why not? It's a wonderful thing to do on a Saturday.
Well,
20 and a half minutes gone, John.
And that's what we want to see, isn't it? The families on the hill and the picnic hampers are out.
Centre bounce, 18-12. Under a twilight sky here at Football Park Marara, St Mary's 6-11. The Warriors are going to celebrate long and hard. Big kick from the middle, one-on-one. Richardson Bunbury gets away from Hoban, kicks around his body, kicks towards the boundary line. They can get across there though, the Warriors. Little kick back in field to Nick O'Sullivan. Sullivan now onto the right boot. He goes for Williams. Chris Williams gathers on the run, puts another kick downfield. Ponter comes out in good front position, got his hands on the foot, he went to ground, didn't complete the mark though. Yuri gave the handball back. Little kick now into the middle of the ground. Baxter, he couldn't get his hands on it. O'Brien cleans up from the back, runs away and gives it to Cyril Rioli, picking up plenty of touches in the closing minutes of the grand final. Lidgerwood goes over the top, gets to Ponter. Ponter goes around his body to O'Brien. O'Brien with another kick, goes for centre half forward. Big effort to mark there was O'Sullivan. He lost it. James Singh will be a multiple goal scorer in a losing grand final side as he runs in and slots from 25 metres out.
Yes,
the lone flag was waving, John.
Yes, that's right. There he goes. Second goal on the board to Singh. There's the hand pass over the top. O'Brien was good, got the ball around onto the left. Should have marked that. He doesn't have too many things wrong today, O'Sullivan. And there's the shot. And what a reception this player's going to get when he comes past. Braun Bush, absolutely magic.
Sensational performance in the grand final. Braun Bush leaves Footy Park. Jason Dullard with him. Listen to the crowd.
Savour the moment, Braun Bush.
They stand, John, and they applaud. Well, we'll just let the applause tell the story. That, just for one player. Walking off with him, of course, though, was Jason Dullard, as Singh has the mark at the 50-metre line. He goes for Tommy Wheatra. Wheatra with one hand at the footy. The reliable Warden playing the percentages. Sockers it up ground. Look at that. Kept the ball in play. Got it off there to Shane Tipperman-Tamiri. He measures further on field. Upfield. Baxter's there if he wants him. He doesn't. He goes to Williams. Williams has got a runner. It's Shane Tipperman-Tamiri from the centre square. Bangs it in long. In front, McLennan. Hands on the footy. Should have marked it. He didn't. He dropped it. It rolls out wide here. Richard Purantatamiri should get there. He does. He gets to 50. Go in, Richard, and kick a goal. Hands the ball out in front of him. Gathers on the run. Kicks at goal. Misses. Kicks it behind.
Everyone wanted that to go through. There's more crowd shots there. The kids in their red and white. They've had a bowl here today.
The kids will be saying, Daddy, what's happening? You'll say, well, I don't know. It's not something that happened in my lifetime, son, but the Warriors have won a grand final.
Exactly right.
Kick out. Long over the top is Patrick Long. Kicks it on further. Aaron Perry, Cyril Rioli, corridor footy to Ponta. Ponta's kick. Tommy Wheatra, Warden. Wonderful Wayne Warden. Great year in defence. Napoli, good player. Gunderson, who's been terrific all year, takes him on and beats him, does Gunderson. Wonderful play, Carl Gunderson. Goes for Victor Dunn. That's a big chest aim out, John, and he hit it right in the middle.
Yeah, well done, Carl Gunderson. Terrific pass under pressure. Replay coming up right behind the kick. It's a special. Dunn unloads, goes long. And
kicks a goal.
He has.
It's got over the line. Saints. Victor Dunn runs up and embraces the young player. Carl Gunderson. You see him around for a long, long time yet. There he goes. Poise, balance, and wonderful skills.
Yeah, great pass. Dunn's been okay too. He's kicked his 3 goals today.
John, and the sky has got a red tinge to it as the sun sets here. Maybe the sky's celebrating with the Warriors as well.
Yeah, the weather's been kind to everybody here today. Here we go. Probably the last centre bounce of this grand final. An historical one for the Waratah Football Club.
Tap from the middle. They want more. They charge out of the middle. Nick O'Sullivan brings it down into the forward line. Out comes Johns wanting the footy. Goes towards the boundary line. Shots is out there. He brought it back into where Hoban got his hands on it and then lost it. Goes over the boundary line. And there'll be a throw in. Little Warrior supporter on the far side of the ground. Bill Martin embraces Braunbush on what's been a fantastic year. A big crowd gathering down there in front of the Warriors, I can tell you that. A very big crowd starting to gather. Little kick. It's 30 metres out. This, I'm sure, John, has to be the last kick of the grand final.
Yes, Karanura will take it. He'd love to finish it off.
Well, there's a massive red and white off to our left. They're clogging up the gates in front of the Warriors stand. There's Bill Martin. Look at him. Oh, he's happy.
He's ready for the burst. Unfortunately, the knee's not going to mean he can run out there too fast. He'll get there. Adam Karanua just doing the bootlaces up.
All the players been asked to move away. The smiles are on the faces. Some of those people there, John, have been around for many, many years with the Warriors. Stood with them through thick and thin. They deserve their reward here tonight.
Yes, and a big smile on John Scott's face there as well. I think Scotty will enjoy him tonight. What Bill Martin doesn't drink, he will.
Clive Baxter, I saw him a little while ago. Johnny had a smile from ear to ear.
Karanua on the left. The
Kicks
final nail.
Watch the victory dance. He dances in the goal square. There they are. The red and white huddle. 19 goals, 13 to 8-11.
There's a replay of the pass in from Tipperman-Tamiri. He's tired. They're all tired. But they're about to find some legs, the Waratah side.
They've got about 28 hours of celebration to do, John. And more.
And you watch what happens when this siren goes. It'll be a special moment. The emotions will overflow here from the Waratah faithful. It's been too long. And they've ended it in emphatic fashion.
Centre bounce. Close to siren time. Free kick comes out of the middle. Who gets it? Green and goal free kick from the middle. Fowler with the kick. Kicks now. Sing out a long way. will kick 65 metres from goal, torps it, drifts back into the goal square, and the Warriors say, you've had all the goals you're going to get. And Matt Schultz, a double fist over the line and rushes it through for a behind.
Does nothing wrong, does Matt Schultz. Part of an almost impregnable defensive outfit tonight. And there's another player, O'Sullivan. Big great.
O'Sullivan, terrific. He's been very good. And now they kick. They're just messing around with the footy. Finishes up with Nick O'Sullivan. Now it's on the far side of the ground here. A little handball came back in field. And a high kick. Ball knocked to ground. Vallejo was there. Runs into the middle. Onto the right boot he goes. Tom Weeks are running back with the flight of the ball. And now a chance here for Vallejo from about 45 metres out directly in front. So kick for goal from Vallejo. Just drifts out to the right.
There it is.
Kick of the grand final. Have a look at them celebrate. The red and whites. They waited for it a long, long time. Sea of red and white. And down on the field of celebration, more angle has the captain of the Warriors, Anthony Hoban.
Sure do, Charlie. Anthony, congratulations. You must be wrapped with that.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable feeling. We've waited a long time for this, and it's just something that I'll never forget. Unbelievable.
You kicked a few yourself as well?
Yeah, I missed one early on, so I thought if I get any other opportunities, I better make sure of them, and luckily they went through.
Who do you think's going to get best on ground out of this? There's a few brilliant players from Tars.
Could be one of 22, but I think Frankie Matthews, Brawny Bush had pretty good games. Link Withers, there was any one of a number of them.
Congratulations, and I'll let you go and celebrate now with your players.
I'd like to thank TIO and the sponsors of the NTFL. I'd like to thank the St Mary's Football Club very much. You've been the yardstick for all the clubs for all the years. The bar has just now been lifted. Thank you very much. Oilers and all our sponsors, Norville being our major sponsor. To mention every one of them, unfortunately I can't, but thank you very much. The bottom guys in the road. Thank you very much.
Guys were just that focused, and you wouldn't have in your wildest imagination sort of pictured the scoreline at half-time be 10-goal zip, and it was just meant to be. I think you sometimes there were some great individual efforts, there were some great team efforts, but the back line were just rock solid. They gave nothing away, and to have written a script at half-time 10-goal zip, I don't think too many people would have pictured that. I think even at half-time you had a sneaking suspicion that the focus, and you just sort of get this feeling from the players and their demeanour that they were going to put the foot down and certainly weren't going to let it slip. So, there's a quite degree of confidence, I suppose, from half-time onwards. But, probably 10 minutes to go thereabouts, you started feeling a little bit more relaxed. Well, I think there was one flash that he came through, and it just was like, where did he come from? But he's been an exceptional player through the whole journey, Bushy was, and he worked with Wayne Warden, and Wayne Warden had a cracking game as well. And Ward's had long flowing locks and what have you, and they just complemented each other and they both stood out. And but Broady's one of my favourite of all times. He's from around Beswick, Barunga region, and I know I hold him in special heed there. He's a ripper. Oh yeah, I remember prior to Frank coming to the club, I rang a mate of mine that had played with Fitzroy, and he was tied up with the Geelong Falcons down in Victoria. And I rang up and I said, "What can you tell me about Frank Matthews?" He's talking about coming up from Terang, and so I knew Alan Tomo would know him, and his quote was, "Great player, could play AFL, but enjoys life too much." And I don't think there's ever been a truer statement said. Frankie, great player, great bloke, but certainly does enjoy life. Probably a little bit too much to have gone that extra step at AFL level and make the sacrifices required, but friend for life in Frank. At the time, I don't think I sort of realised the significance of it, but it's part of history now, and there's a booklet. There's some phenomenal players that have gone before and coaches, and so it's just an incredible part of history and an honour, a huge honour to have been named the coach of the team of the century, and something I'll cherish forever. We had a reunion. I was up there for the Australia Day game at Gardens Oval, and was given the honour of presenting the cup on that particular day to Waratahs. I keep in close contact with the ex-players. I speak to Ryan Ayres, the current coach, and you can't recruit with the point system the way, I'll see a player here in Queensland or hear of one in Victoria, and you can't just fit everyone in the way you used to with the point system. But I think Ayres on the right track. I think the club's on the right track, and I think in the aftermath of this coronavirus thing, it might just have clubs brought back to playing a lot more, of the local talent. And I think they're pretty well stocked in that department, as are Nightcliff. They're going to take a fair bit of beating. But, I still try to keep in touch, and I'll do whatever is asked of me in the capacity that I can. And let's hope they find the ladder a little bit more next year.